Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and
Howdy.
welcome to the Apostate Prophet, which is the best show out there this time of the day. I'm here with my friend David Wood. David, how
Gonna
you
do a
doing?
little gonna do a little live stream before we head on over to the Monster Truck and Tractor Rally. Yee-hoo! We got Fordzilla versus Truck-a-Pillar.
Yeah. Today we're going to talk about From the River to the Sea. From the River to the Sea. David, what does From the River to the Sea mean?
Well, if you ask the protesters, it means pretty much any river and any sea that they can name, and that's what it refers to.
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Anyway, I was just in the mood for some country music. But yeah, if
you could sing that. You could sing that to anything, though. You could put that to a completely different melody, like anything that has like from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free and we'll be rid of all the Jews. You know, you could sing that to anything. So
yeah, very
nice.
I
don't want people to think that we're musical geniuses just because we could sing.
We are. Yeah. That's a new genre, by the way. It's called genocide core. Anyway, so
genocide core country.
So there was a Wall Street Journal article that recently addressed something that is quite hilarious, which is a slogan, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free," keeps going around and around and around, and lots of us, we keep saying that these people who say "from the river to the sea," lots of them probably don't know what exactly that means.
They're doing it because the crowd. They're doing it because the crowd is doing it.
Yes, and not even talking about the end goal of that slogan, but they don't even know what the river refers to, many of them, and they don't even know what the sea refers to, which is like I get the river, maybe, I don't know, but the sea, okay, you know what, maybe I understand that lots of people just get both of those things wrong. They just don't know about them. So there is a very significant river there in the area, a very significant river that has been known, that is found in old texts, that is found in the Bible, that is found in all throughout Middle Eastern history. And then there is also a sea over there. Which river and which sea are those? We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We just don't know. But we are going to find out by reading an article from the Wall Street Journal, which actually took on the grand mission to poll some people who are pro-Palestine supporters and to ask them what exactly they understand from the slogan. So,
and that's a good idea, by the way, right? You got people over here chanting a call that is actually calling for the extermination of millions of people. Probably a good idea to say, "Hey guys, tell us exactly what you're talking about here. Tell us what you know."
Here, what river and what sea is that you're talking about?
By the way, can you just imagine someone's going, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." You walk up and say, "What river and what sea?"
I don't know.
Huh? Why you microaggressing me, man? Huh, bro?
It doesn't even matter.
This guy's persecuting me. He's persecuting me.
This is genocide.
You're committing literal genocide. This man is literally Hitler for asking me this question.
I wanted to bring up one without the labels on them, but to have a quick view of the situation here. This is the land that we're talking about here. This land that is like very, very, very much discussed nowadays, and the river is hard to see, but the river is right here.
It's hard to see because it's not something we would call a river in the United States.
Yeah,
we would we would call it a creek, because I mean, you could wade across this thing. It's a
Yeah,
tiny little. I was shocked when I saw it. When I actually saw, I assumed like, I'm from West Virginia. I grew up beside the Monongahela River. That's an actual river, and I thought that the Jordan River was like that, and it's not. It's what we would call a creek, and go goofing off and splashing around it.
that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, it's
Matter
this river
of
here.
fact, yeah, you should do a little geography lesson here, since there's apparently so few people who know anything about the topography there.
Should I? Is that really necessary here? What like
At the
what do you think?
at the very minimum, they need to know Sea of Galilee, Dead Sea, River Jordan.
Okay.
So you got Sea of Galilee up at the top.
I was kind of thinking that of leaving that part to after we read
Oh, okay,
the article.
yeah.
So
No explanation. Let the students explain it.
yeah. I was kind of wanting to do it that way, but I'm just kind of thinking about whether it would be actually good to give to give the full picture for those who don't know, who have made it so far and don't know. But how about let's just have a look first, and then see the wisdom of people who support Palestine. So this article says, from which river to which sea? This is a very good question. College students don't know, yet they agree with the slogan. So it says, when college students who sympathize with Palestinians chant from the river to the sea, do they know what they're talking about? I hired a survey firm to poll 250 students from a variety of backgrounds across the US. Most said they supported the chant. Most said they supported the chant. Some enthusiastically so, 32.8%, and others to a lesser extent, 53.2%. But only 47% of the students who embraced the slogan were able to name the river.
By the way,
and
look
the
at those numbers. So most students support the chant.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
What? It's funny that you disappeared it? Here we go.
Yeah.
Look right there. Most said they supported the chant. So 32.8% support it enthusiastically, and 53.2% support it to a lesser extent. So you're talking 86% of students. Wait, who's it? Wait, 86% of college students support the chant, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
But the thing is, these people are students. Nobody said that they're actually going to learn anything. It's like they're just, it is important to become a student. That's it. So, there's that. So there's that. That's funny. Getting an ad blocker to get around that, because I'm getting sick of the ads. But only 47% of the students who embraced the slogan were able to name the river and the sea. Only 47%. Some of the alternative answers were the Nile and the Euphrates.
The Nile?
The Caribbean.
They're way off. I at least understand saying Euphrates. You're at least in the right part of the world.
The Caribbean. Who in the world said the Caribbean?
Someone who watched that Johnny Depp movie.
Maybe. The Dead Sea, which is a lake. Still, I would get it, like if they meant that. Although it wouldn't make much sense, but still, I mean, at least.
Well, if it's a lake, why's it got sea in the title? It's in the name.
And the Atlantic. Well, that would be a very, very big.
The Atlantic Sea.
There would be a very big land to cover here.
Yeah, if you're saying all the way to the Atlantic, you're talking about all Europe and all Africa there.
Yeah, so let's see. Let's have some perspective on this matter here on Google Maps. So here is the land that we're talking about. Now they're referring to some river here, and then the sea that they're referring to. If they say the Atlantic, then the Atlantic would be over here. So that would mean, I guess, when you say
that's right, give them Spain back.
from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. I guess that implies that from some river over here, all of everything in between, so the entirety of Europe, and just take Africa with it, should be, Palestinians should be free there, whatever that means.
Notice if they say, for those who say the river is the Nile and the sea is the Atlantic, you're not even you're not getting actual Palestine at all. You're getting everything else.
The Nile is here, so you would have this from here to here, and it wouldn't even include the land, which they call Palestine. That's very funny. At least the Euphrates is over here. At least that is on this side. Wait, this is funny. I can't tell which one it is right now from looking at it, but isn't it over? Yeah, I should probably highlight rivers. I should probably highlight the rivers. Anyway,
they should just Israel should respond, say, okay, we agree, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Palestinians get it all, but we're going to let these college students define the river and the sea, and they're going to define it as the Nile and the Atlantic.
Alhamdulillah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Beautifully
and Israel can just say, all right, we agree.
Beautifully spoken. Yeah. Less than a quarter of these students knew who Yasser Arafat was. Which
hey.
Yes.
Oh, that would be a funny Babylon Bee article. Israel agrees to give the land from the river to the sea to the Palestinians, provided the protesters can point it out on a map. And then of course they fail completely, and so. And
no, it's one thing
for a shot.
It's one thing for somebody to say, I support oppressed people, I support their freedoms and this and that. I like to help them be free, and then you wouldn't necessarily expect for somebody who just shows sympathy or empathy to know everything about the history of the conflict. But I would say, in a conflict that is so complicated and so detailed, it would probably be expected to have some idea on the basic history of the conflict, especially on the recent history. And Yasser Arafat is a big part of that recent history of this conflict, because he was, he talked with the U.S. president. He was at the core of one of the biggest attempts, one of the times that the world got closest to having an actual permanent peace agreement between a Palestinian side and Israel. But he is the most memorable leader of the Palestinian side. But hey, they don't know. Less than a quarter of these students knew who he was. Less than a quarter of these students knew who Yasser Arafat was, which is just stupid. I don't know what else to add to that. It's stupid.
By the way, I looked up his net worth, and it was estimated at between 1 and 3 billion. Must be nice, man. Makes me want to go become the head of a terrorist organization and ask the world for aid. Become a billionaire. Go retire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Smart.
I wonder if those students have ever seen this photo here, which I'm trying to pull up. This photo here. Yes, this photo here. So I wonder if those students have ever seen this photo here, and if they can remember this, or if they can remember who in the world these people are. Because
that is in every history textbook, every U.S. history textbook.
Yeah, they should probably see. They should probably have seen this. They should probably be able to point at who in this. I don't know. Will they point at this guy in the middle and say that might be Yasser Arafat? I don't know.
That's George W. That's George W. Bush right there. I know him.
Yeah. 12 of them, or more than 10%, thought he was the first prime minister of Israel. Oh boy. Asked in what decade Israelis and Palestinians had signed the Oslo Accords, more than a quarter of the chance supporters claimed that no such peace agreements had ever been signed. There is no shame in being ignorant unless one is screaming for the extermination of millions. This is bizarre, man. This is embarrassing. Would learning basic political facts about the conflict moderate students' opinions? A Latino engineering student from a southern university reported definitely supporting From the River to the Sea because Palestinians and Israelis should live in two separate countries side by side. Completely misunderstanding the issue. Shown on a map of the region that a Palestinian state would stretch from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea, leaving no room for Israel, he downgraded his enthusiasm for the mantra to probably not. So at first, he was in complete support of the slogan, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." But as soon as he was shown a map of the river and the sea that we are talking about, he realized, wait a minute, that means there would be no Israel. And then said, okay, I probably don't support that slogan.
And you pointed out, we've been saying that all along. These a lot of these protesters, especially the U.S. college students and so on, they don't know what they're talking about, and they think when they say from the river to the sea, they're just saying, the Gaza Strip needs to be free from oppression by Israel or something. They think they're saying something like that, when the actual slogan is, no, wipe Israel off the map, all of it, from the river. So Jordan River, I don't know if you're saying it yet, but wipe it all off the map.
I want to keep it a secret, but yeah.
Shh, sorry. Stupid. Right.
I guess we just addressed it, so I guess we can let the big secret out. It is indeed, if you want to have a look at it, these are the two waters that we're talking about. Here is the Jordan River, as we marked it, the Jordan River, huge significance, big significance in the region. And here is the Mediterranean Sea. So Jordan River, Mediterranean Sea. So when people say from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, what they mean is the land between this river and the sea is Palestine, and all of it shall be free, which means Israel entirely is considered an occupation of this land and should cease existing, so that all of it should be Palestine, and Palestine should be free. That's what it means. And the means to do that would be violent, because it would be a violent destruction of Israel, the removal of the Israeli Zionist project, the removal of the Jews as wished by Hamas explicitly in their original charter, in their later charter, over the decades, many times, again and again and again. And by many of the Palestinian organizations, most of the Palestinian organizations, they agree. And indeed, the Palestinian populations, both in Gaza and in the West Bank, still, according to the latest polls, they agree that, yes, from the river to the sea, so between this river and this sea, all of the land shall be Palestine, and they should continue fighting until all of it belongs to the Palestinians, and the Jews no longer have a state, no longer have a right there. That's what this means. And people in the West will chant this slogan because they hear it, and will just not even know what they're chanting for.
And that's absolutely, I mean, I still find it fascinating because we're used to being in a post-Holocaust West where people generally wouldn't want to call for genocide of Jews, right? Most people wouldn't want to do that. And if someone did start calling for genocide against Jews, you'd say, "Oh, this guy's a Nazi. He's doing the same thing Hitler was trying to do." We regard that as like a paradigm example of being a horrible, evil person. And yet students in the West are so incredibly stupid that you can basically trick them. Some of them do it. Some of them are saying it knowingly, but a bunch of them, as you can see from the Wall Street Journal article, a bunch of them are so dumb they don't realize they're calling for genocide. You can trick them into calling for genocide and not realize it, right? They just think, "Oh, we're just calling for the liberation of some oppressed people," and not even realize you're calling for the extermination of Jews.
Yeah. That is indeed very, very ridiculous. Very, very ridiculous. And we can look at a few sources, at a few videos, which will explain to us further what it means, what the history of it is, and all of that. But let us continue with the article. So, again, the student who definitely supported the slogan before he knew what it means was shown on a map that Palestine would then be between the Jordan River and the sea, and there would be no room for Israel. He then said, okay, he probably wouldn't support that slogan. Of the 80 students who saw the map, 75% similarly changed their view.
75%. So 3/4 of students, as soon as you show them, if you take 10 seconds to show them what they're actually calling for, change their minds, right?
Yeah.
So 3/4, right? So you could walk up to a group of people, group of college students protesting, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And you say, what do you mean? They're like, oh, I don't know, some river, some sea. They're like, okay, well, could you clarify? Let's check out a map here. No, what the chant actually means is from this river to this sea. So what does that mean? It means two-state solution. It means two-state solution and the end of the occupation of Gaza. Look at the map. Look at the map. You giant moron. Look at the map. What are you actually calling for? Hey, wait a minute. I'm calling for the annihilation of Israel. I didn't know that. Okay, I changed my mind.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
This is why people should inform themselves before they adopt such slogans, before they advocate for ridiculous things. It is not really an excuse. You can't say, "Well, I didn't know about the history of it. I didn't know about this." You could go and support Nazis, support the literal Nazis with their slogans because you think you're advocating for something great there. You probably shouldn't later invoke ignorance and say, "Well, I didn't know. I didn't know."
Oh, hey, here you go, AP. Hey, stupid college student. Why are you calling for the annihilation of Israel? I was just following orders. The other students told me I had to do it. I was just following orders. Yeah. Where have we heard that before, you little Nazi?
An art student from a liberal arts college in New England probably supported the slogan because Palestinians and Israelis should live together in one state. But when informed of recent polls in which most Palestinians and Israelis rejected the one-state solution, this student lost his enthusiasm. So did 41% of students in that group. By the way, the only support among Palestinians for a one-state solution is a one-state solution where Jews don't have the same rights as Palestinians. Mm-hmm. I recently showed that in a live stream as well from the Washington Institute and the Palestinian Research poll. A third group of students claimed the chant called for a Palestine to replace Israel. 60% of those students reduced their support for the slogan when they learned it would entail the subjugation, expulsion, or annihilation of 7 million Jewish and 2 million Arab Israelis. Yet another 30%.
I thought it was just gonna be magic. I thought it would just be magic. We have to actually exterminate a bunch of people. Uh-oh.
This is the stupid thing, right? What do people think happens when they say, "Well, those people they shouldn't be. That state is not good. It's not right. No, it should be replaced with this other state that has totally not been violent over the many
by
decades."
Hamas.
Yeah,
we'd be better off with a state run by actual terrorists.
And what will happen to the people? Well, what happens to any people? They just continue living. Man, people live in a fantasy world. It's inspired by movies and I don't know, romanticized nonsense. It looks like people can't think about the realistic consequences of the things that they are advocating for and thinking of. Yet another 14% of students reconsidered their stance when they read that many American Jews considered the chant to be threatening, even racist. Yeah, you think?
By the way, that's interesting. It's like 14% of the students, once they find out that Jews are because the Jews understand what the chant is about, right? If you're an American Jew, you understand what that is calling for. You're like, hey guys, that's messed up. And they go, what? Oh, it's racist calling for your extermination? I didn't know. Let's change our minds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a weird situation because you do have tons of people who know what they're talking about, but there are so many people who have absolutely no clue what they're talking about. It seems like you could, if schools like you remember Harvard and University of Pennsylvania and MIT, if they actually made their students sit down and just showed them a map. Okay, here's a map. Here's what this slogan is calling for. You would radically and dramatically reduce the support for that slogan and for the protests and so on. So my goodness, why aren't people doing that? Wasn't that like a requirement? Hey, you guys are all protesting. Notice you're not saying, hey, I need to go give people a bunch of information they don't want. It's, wait, you guys are claiming to be the activists on this. Let's make sure you actually know what you're talking about so we can see if this is what you really believe. Because apparently 75% of people who are shouting it will change their mind just by showing them what a map is.
Yes.
We're sitting here like Dora the Explorer, and the magic backpack could actually solve this situation.
I wonder if they've ever seen a map before. Like maybe they never saw a map before. Maybe that's the problem, you know. Maybe they have
Kids
never
acting
looked
like
at
they've never
map.
seen a map before.
Yeah. In fact, you don't have to go very far. I mean, you could go back into the history of where the slogan comes from. The slogan was used by Fatah, which is now in charge of the West Bank. Until a certain point, it was officially used. Until they agreed that they should probably sit down and to discuss with Israel for a two-state solution. Then they stopped officially using the slogan, but they're still basically using it. Hamas has been using it the entire time, and their entire aim at that is that that all of the land should belong to them. And you can actually go to the Hamas charter, the current one, the updated one. You can see this mentioned in two places. Here, when they define the land of Palestine, they say Palestine, which extends from the River Jordan in the east to the Mediterranean in the west, is an integral territorial unit. The expulsion and banishment of the Palestinian people from their land and the establishment of the Zionist entity therein do not annul the rights of the Palestinian people to their entire land and do not entrench any rights therein for the usurping Zionist entity. The second place where this is mentioned is more critical, as far as I remember. Hamas believes that no part of the land of Palestine shall be compromised or conceded, irrespective of the causes, the circumstances, and the pressures, and no matter how long the occupation lasts. Hamas rejects any alternative to the full and complete liberation of Palestine from the river to the sea. And then they say, without compromising its rejection of the Zionist entity and without relinquishing any Palestinian rights, they would temporarily agree to a two-state solution with the 1967 borders. They mentioned this in the very same article where they state that they want to eventually take all of it. Like, this is how ridiculous this organization is.
Why are you laughing and giggling when you're talking about this horrible stuff? Laughing like you're the president of the University of Pennsylvania talking about genocide. Hey, pull up your most recent super chat. It's not going to be as funny later.
Most recent super chat. This.
We're talking about maps.
If you're looking for
MAP stands for minor attracted person.
Oh,
for people who are trying to make they're trying to make it a sexual orientation.
Gotcha. That's good. That's good. That is pretty good. That's a pretty good one. That's a good one. SC Rocket XR1 became a member. Welcome to the club. Welcome. Chloe said, sheep and slogans do confide. A mass call for genocide. I love these poetic super chats that Chloe's making. Michelle Mufat said, the prophets and woodies here huddle, awaiting sunrise from its puddle. Can't see it on a map, even with leather strap. I guess the Quran is a muddle. That's good. These things are getting... This is like a very artistic
And isn't it
competing.
weird? Isn't it weird that this, like, is this becoming a thing everywhere or just during our live streams?
It's probably just our live streams. No other live streams, no other things are this creative, this beautiful. Amber Black said, "You see, AP's rejection of the Quran made Allah take away his ability to be on time." That's true. That's basically what happened. You are completely right, Amber. Unfortunately. And Jamie Julian said, "Love your channel, Insanity." Thank you so much. I love your channel, Insanity. Yeah. So yes. So another 14% after hearing that American Jews say, wait a minute, this is that slogan is hateful and racist and anti-Jewish," they were like, oh, okay, well, okay, I guess I don't support it. This argument had a weaker effect on students who self-identified as progressive despite their alleged sensitivity to offensive speech. This is a very funny remark here.
Mhm.
This argument had a weaker effect on students who self-identified as progressive despite their alleged sensitivity to offensive speech. Now, unfortunately, in the West, this whole thing happened where these progressive people who want to, baby all the minorities, who want to treat them all like babies, like, oh, poor person of color. Poor person of color. Do they hurt? Are they hurting you? Let me protect you. Oh, let me give you a hug. They don't consider they don't consider Jews a minority anymore because Jews are successful and they are white. Uh, so they have now they no longer have enough minority points, which is why the progressives will no longer consider their feelings important. Where you can say something terrible to an Arab person, for example, which would be unacceptable, but say the same thing to a Jewish person, it's like, so what? The Jewish people, they're not, they're not poor little babies like the Arabs. We have to protect the Arabs. That's basically what it is. In all, after learning a handful of basic facts about the Middle East, 67.8% of students went from supporting from the river to the sea
Why stuttering?
to rejecting the mantra. 67.8% of students went from supporting
in all,
the slogan,
my goodness, in
to
all,
rejecting
after
it.
learning a handful of basic facts about the Middle East, including just showing them a map and what river and what sea they're talking about, 67.8% of students went from supporting from the river to the sea to rejecting the mantra.
Imagine
my goodness.
this. The
Learning
majority
basic
of them,
information. 2/3 are out. As 2/3 of the students who support it are out once they find out what it's about.
yeah. So imagine a whole rally full of pro-Palestine supporters. They chant together, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." And then you stop them and you show them a map and you tell them what it means. And the majority of them are like, oh, wait, hold on. Oh, no, I take that back. Okay, I'm not saying that anymore. Can you imagine the stupidity if you go out and protest and engage in a rally? That means you are really taking it seriously. This means a lot, and you are standing up for it. And you are basically standing up for something that you have no idea about.
You know nothing. You have no clue what you're talking about. And anyone who gives you the slightest bit of factual information about what you are protesting for, 2/3 of you are like, what? No, I didn't know I was doing that. Notice, here's what we got to do, AP. We have to come up with some disguises, infiltrate the system. We infiltrate the rallies. We infiltrate the protests until they allow one of us to be a speaker at said rally, right? And so obviously you can, hey, I'm Turkish, I'm here. Yay, put him on stage. And that you can't just let the cat out. You can't just let the cat right out of the bag. You gotta have to sound like you're on their side. And you're like, and just so we all know what we're protesting for, let's look at a map. And then show them the map and say, yeah, from the river to the sea. Which river and which sea? Let's show us on the map so we know exactly what we're talking about. Yeah. It's this river to this sea. Notice it's the entire land of Israel. That's why we all support wiping Israel off the map and exterminating them, right?
Yeah.
Hey, where are 2/3 of you going? Where are 2/3 of you going?
What? Man. There are lots of these people who actually do some really messed up stuff, who say some really messed up stuff that you expect would put people off and make them leave, but apparently it doesn't work. This woman here,
We're talking about
this woman here, I just forgot her name. What's her name? What's her name? Nardine Kaswani. This woman here, she she is so she went twice on Piers Morgan to discuss with Emily Austin about the Israel-Palestine conflict, and she was at rallies before where she said some really messed up things, including, and it is called out here during this interview, what was it called? Last sound? No sound. Oh yeah, no, that's not. No. What was that? Zionist? No, Zion. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing at?
Just because it was a combination of Ayatollah Khomeini leaving the comment, but Ayatollah Khomeini said her name is Abdullah Jabroni.
Can't do it, can you?
No, she can't.
Look at this. Look at this comment here. Look at this.
Given this war, this latest war that's erupted, began with a terror attack on October the 7th, why is it hard to not just say, that was terrible?
I don't see you asking Regev if he condemned the slaughter of innocent civilians.
You can't do it, can you?
No, she can't, because she's the same woman who said every Zionist before they die should hear pop, pop before they die. So she probably agrees with the massacre. So why would she condemn them?
I think where the media is part of manufacturing.
See how she's not even responding to it. She's moving on because it's true. It is on record from a long live broadcast protest where she said those very same words after they heard like these pop sounds of some things going up in the background, and she said, "I hope every Zionist hears that before they die," which basically means all the Zionists deserve to be killed. And when we're talking about Zionists, we're talking about regular people in Israel who are just Jewish. And we are also talking about a lot of non-Jewish people who support Israel's right to exist, who support the right for Jews to have their own land. So these people, they deserve to be killed. That's totally fine. But hey, if you oppose the whole Palestinian cause here, then you are a genocide enabler, whatever that means.
And the creepy part here is what she reminded me of right there when they're going, hey, can you just condemn this? And let me say some words. It just reminded me of what we were going through last night with the presidents of Harvard and UPenn and MIT and so on. Hey, guys, can you just say that this is against your school's code of conduct, calling for genocide against Jews? Can you just say that that's against? Well, it's going to be context dependent. It's going to be context dependent. And it's just like they can't do it. They're incapable of just saying, yeah, that's really, really, really bad, and we won't allow that.
Yeah. By the way, there was today the UN resolution to for a ceasefire in the conflict between Israel and Hamas. Of course, when there is a resolution, what they mean by the resolution is just that Israel should be told to do a ceasefire. The news on that are that the U.S. vetoed the resolution, which means the U.S. just said, nope, we're not supporting.
U.S. got veto powers. You know what's cool, by the way? You know what's super cool is
yes.
You've got all these students and so on all around the world. You've got all these complaints, people flipping out on Twitter, people flipping out on TikTok, and Israel just keeps going after Hamas, laser focus. And guys, we're not stopping just because a bunch of morons on college campuses who can't even point to what they're talking about on a map scream and whine all day. They just keep going after Hamas, like systematically, methodically, relentlessly going after them. And it's funny because if you go back a month, like the people like Mohammed Hijab and all these guys, they really seem to think they're going to win this, right? Oh, they're trembling. The Jews are trembling. They're in fear. They knew that the Ummah is uniting and we're going to crush them. Ha ha! Like victory is in sight. I mean, given everything that's been happening, what do you think the odds of Hamas just surviving this, just surviving the next month or two, like to where they even have a group left over? I don't think it seems like Israel's going like person by person by person and systematically eradicating or arresting them. That's what it really looks like. And people think, hey, a Hamas jihadi could run into the middle of a bunch of civilians, and how are they going to know him? Right. An IDF soldier going and seeing a Hamas member in the midst of a bunch of civilians would not know. But they go in there, they start rounding people up, they interrogate the Hamas members that they capture. And guess what? You interrogate someone enough, they're going to let the cat out of the bag. Yeah, he's a member. Just stop torturing me.
Yeah.
And they're getting them.
People apparently find it terrible, find it totally appalling, find it disgusting, horrible to look at what Israel did yesterday, which is to have a bunch of people in the Gaza Strip, have them sit outside, take off their clothes like this. People are
Gaza strippers.
Yeah, they did a little Gaza Strip show here.
That's their Mohammed Hijab imitation. Matter of fact, the IDF's probably saying that, hey, you guys like Mohammed Hijab? Yes, he's our hero. He's our hero. He won't come here and fight with us, but he's our hero. Okay, you really like Mohammed Hijab, eh? All right. Clothes off, just like Mohammed Hijab.
Yeah, here's one of the pictures, one of the photos. They probably don't know who Mohammed Hijab is, but yeah. So here's one of the photos where a bunch of them are stripped naked in their underwear, sitting there waiting. Of course, Israel does this, and then there is a lot of talk about who these people are, whether they are Hamas terrorists, whether they are civilians. As far as I gather, this is a massive interrogation and search to find Hamas members and supporters who actually directly support Hamas. They strip them naked to look for any piece of evidence, and then take them away.
You also want to make sure they don't have anything on them, any sort of weapon, even a small weapon, something like a handcuff key or something like that, something small. You generally want to.
So what they apparently did is they transferred them to the coast, to the ones they searched, continued their search, and after it was done, they said, okay, you can go home, and they went home. That's it. But hey, that is like the big, huge, big problem here. The Palestinian ambassador to the UK, to London, I think, said these are terrible humanitarian conditions. This is an image that is just disgusting and all of that. That guy didn't make a single comment about the horrible things we have seen on October 7th, for example, like this here. Here's the comparison. Make it the comparison here. Look at this one. You have an actual woman here paraded through the streets, put on the back of a car after being on a pickup truck after being killed, brutalized. People are sitting on her and parading her. The Gazan population is spitting on her and beating her while she's already dead. That is apparently no big issue, and this is only one of those. This is only one of the front pages. This is the face of the issue. There's a lot going on behind that, but they don't have nothing to say about this. But Israel going and searching people, and by the way, not killing them, and not putting them in camps, not raping them. Apparently, that is the worst thing they have seen. You haven't seen a thing. Yeah. They even
no, and I mean, once you understand, what Is this someone who's seriously making the comparison? Because I see a pretty big difference between all these fat Hamas guys and these starving Jews at a concentration camp.
Yeah, you want to see photos of the
Yeah.
Jews?
Want to see what? Yeah, you want to see what genocide actually looks like?
Yeah, it doesn't look like well-fed people just sitting out there, having to sit out there for a little bit. It looks pretty bad. I always encounter those photos whenever I search for a basic thing, and now I'm coming across all the non-relevant photos in my search. Yeah, here, let's have this here. Let's have this here. Look at this. This is how these people looked. This is how people looked who were actually going through a genocide, who were actually being rounded up by the Nazis, and who were put in concentration camps, who were put in killing camps, who were actually supposed to be genocided, because the goal by the Nazis was just to simply eradicate them, not to control them, but to eradicate them. They were put in eradication camps. They didn't look like these guys who are well fed and fat because they just get their food and whatever they want, whatever they need in their lives. I mean, just look at this guy here. Does he look like he's getting the same treatment as people who actually go through a genocide? This is insulting to people who actually died as a result of a genocide.
But yeah, they were made to sit in the street for a little bit, so it's the same thing basically as the Holocaust.
Yeah, it's actually worse than the Holocaust. Having to sit outside is just terrible, man. Terrible. I once, whenever I have to board a plane and I have to, take a few things off and go through the thing, the X-ray thingy, I feel like I'm basically a Holocaust victim. Pretty much same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Pretty much same thing. Yeah. That's the situation, man. That's the situation.
And by the way, you know what they're doing with those people there? So they're rounding up people, making them sit down, stripping them, make sure they don't have any weapons or anything else on them. They strip them, make them sit down. And I didn't see this, but I would suspect that Hamas fighters that they've captured, they actually have those dudes. They actually have some of the ones that they've captured and who are willing to spill the beans to stop the interrogation. They've got those guys in some room and they're showing them footage. They're going through, okay, you tell us who's who. You tell us who you remember being on your side. You tell us who you remember being part of your group. You tell it, oh, this guy, third from the end, this guy right here. That guy? Okay. Now let's keep going. And okay. So all right, you, and you stay seated. Everyone else get up and go.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it worked.
And I read a report earlier, which is like one of the people who were detained and who were then taken to the coast and who were then told, okay, you can go home you can go home now. They were complaining about those circumstances, and people were genuinely bringing that up as like, look how they are mistreating the civilian Palestinians. Dude, are you kidding me, man? After everything that we have seen, after everything that has been going on, that is really what you think is like the worst thing happening? This is what you pointed as a horrible treatment. I mean, so far what you have is Israeli estimates of the civilian to combatant fatality ratio has been consistent historically with later UN findings. So there is no reason to really doubt them. That said, they are currently in the middle of a very severe conflict, a very severe war. So not all numbers might be entirely correct on either side. But if the numbers are close to correct, that means Israel is killing about 2 civilians per combatant currently, and that would be a very good ratio. I'm saying good again. It's just hard to choose the right words there. It's a ratio that is normal across wars, and means that given the circumstances, they are putting effort into not killing civilians, into minimizing civilian deaths. Of course, that's a little bit difficult because Gaza is a very densely populated place, and the evacuation orders were ignored, and Hamas told people explicitly to ignore evacuation warnings and to stay where they are. So, given the circumstances, killing such low numbers of civilians would mean that they are actually trying to not kill civilians. So you have Israel target bombing. You have them telling for 2 weeks in advance, evacuate, evacuate, evacuate. We're going to bomb, dropping leaflets and doing all of these things, going through all kinds of efforts, providing a route for people to safely evacuate. You have all kinds of things, and people and they just want to find the next thing to point at and say, this is genocide, that is genocide, having people sit outside is genocide. Man, please stop. It's just embarrassing.
And by the way, like what do you expect them to do? Notice they could have just killed all those guys on site. They could have just killed everyone.
Exactly.
Right? They could have massacred everyone. Instead, it's, hey, we know some people here are Hamas and that some people aren't Hamas. We can't tell just by looking at these guys what they are, who's Hamas and who's not. So we don't want to open fire. We want to round everyone up, sit them down until we figure out who's who. But until we know who is who, we kind of have to make sure, since we can't tell who's the terrorist and who's not the terrorist, we kind of have to sit you all down to make sure you don't have any weapons and everything else. And they're condemned for that. They're condemned for not massacring everybody. If they massacred everyone, they would have been condemned for that. But they didn't massacre everyone. They round everyone up and then figure out who's who. And they're condemned for that. It just doesn't matter what they do. Apart from just packing their stuff and leaving Israel, nothing they do would be acceptable.
This is very funny. I'm just going through Daniel Kikitu's Twitter page here, where he retweeted. He personally didn't tweet anything about this whole issue, I believe, but as far as I can see, what he retweeted some people who condemned this and posted about those bodies, and of course about those people. Of course, the first thing.
Wait.
What?
Oh, sure. I was just wondering. You're talking about the same Daniel Hakikichu who believes that as long as you get parental consent, you can have sex with an 11-month-old baby, and who believes that the entire world needs to be subjugated and you have to be executed and I have to be executed. This guy's trying to get some sympathy for these guys?
Even better. I'm talking about the Hakikichu who referred to the very, very picture that I just brought up of Shani Luke, who was paraded as dead on the streets of Gaza. He referred to that as a rave prostitute. That's what.
Wait. So the guy who's dismissing these girls who are getting killed at a concert, they're just rave prostitutes. Why would anyone care? He wants us to feel bad for these guys.
Yes, exactly.
For not for being massacred, but for being rounded up until they can figure out who's a terrorist and who's not.
Yeah. Maybe if they had raped these people instead, then Daniel Kikiju would have nothing to complain about, I guess. I don't know.
It
looks like that's how the logic goes here. That's really what it looks like. For some reason, I can't find the tweet that he made about that. Did he delete this? I don't even. Wait a minute. This is interesting right now. So I'm looking for Daniel Kikiju. I'm looking through his tweets that he made, and looking specifically for the tweet where he called her a prostitute, a rave prostitute. Let's see. By being prostitutes. I think I can't find it. Wait.
I already found it. Took me like 5 seconds. What are you doing?
Really? Oh, okay. I got it. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Never mind. Got it here. This is Daniel Kikiju. Here, in response to the images of that woman, Shani Luke, was killed and paraded in the streets by Hamas terrorists, He said, "Isn't it hilarious that the number one thing that tradcons are citing to justify their diehard support for Israel, genociding Palestine, is one 5-second clip of some rave prostitute." Rave prostitute. That's what he calls it. That's what he calls a woman who is brutally killed and then paraded on the streets of Gaza by Hamas. But hey, don't search people. Don't search people. Don't let them, get stripped naked to their underwear and sit outside. Don't let them live. Apparently, that is very genocidal, very, very genocidal stuff. It's just it's insane, man. And just to get you closer one more time, I guess I have to do this again, just to get you closer one more time to what we are actually talking about. We can have a look at the footage again here. They were happy on this day. They were happy. They were cheering. While these animals were sitting on her dead body, grabbing her hair with a hole in her head because they shot and killed her with her deformed body. The population here was spitting on her. They were cheering. They were screaming, "Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, yeah, Allahu Akbar. Yes, look, this is one of those prostitutes, Allahu Akbar, one of those Zionist dogs, Allahu Akbar." And now they're crying and calling anything that Israel does in response a genocide. Sorry, I'm not one of those who will be fooled by that stupidity. I was fooled throughout most of my life by that stupidity. I'm not going to do it now, which is why I will be here speaking out against that messed up propaganda. But yeah, hey, for those who have missed it, here is a little explanation here. Look, here is Israel. This land here, this is Israel. Here is the river. You don't even have to name it. Here is the river.
Creek.
And here is the sea. So river, sea, Israel. So if you say from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, that means you want this all to be Palestine. That's what's between the river and the sea. And can't have that. Sorry, can't have
Nope.
that.
No. Hey, do you think again, it really seemed like the Dawa guys a month ago thought they're like going to come out on top of this somehow, that everyone's so many students are protesting that Israel's going to crack. They're just going to crack. The tide is going to turn, and Israel just keeps going after Hamas and going after Hamas and going after Hamas, and they take the north, and now they're heading south and so on. So do you think it's like at what point do you realize, wow, everything I said, all the tweets I sent, all the interviews I did, all the whining I did, all the protests I went to, did absolutely nothing to stop Israel from going after Hamas? Literally nothing. Zero. And Israel, again, it's going to be what, a month or two from now, and Israel will have completely wiped out Hamas. Yeah, there will be a few guys who don't get caught. There'll be there'll be the rich guys who are living in other countries and so on. And so they'll try to fund it, get it started again, but they will be absolutely crippled at the very least.
It's because when they go out there and they protest, it's just like, sorry to say,
and Israel will be in control of Gaza.
Yeah.
Israel is taking control of Gaza. That's what's going to happen. And so the end result of, yay, our terrorist attack, this is really going to change things. We're winning now. And all the complaining, and the end result is Hamas has been crushed. The leadership has been crushed. And there's a new sheriff in town, Sheriff Israel.
Beautiful.
Interesting.
Chloe said yesterday's stream pins Miss McGill. AP smacks grin off her face. I spray her with holy water. David Wood performs last rites exorcism.
That was creepy, man. And the reason I'm saying that is I've only seen a few people in my life who you start talking about something horrible, and that's why she's talking about it being like demonic. But they get this. I'll tell you who's like that. Ilhan Omar. Ilhan Omar will start doing that. She'll look in rage, but then she'll start smiling, and she'll go, quite frankly, this is very disgusting what you're asking me. And she'll get like this smile on her face. It's like, what the heck are you smiling about, lady? But I've seen people in prison like that who they'll be talking about evil stuff, even stuff they should be regarding as evil, and they get this big smile on their faces. But anyway, that's what I mean. You're the president of the University of Pennsylvania, and you're like that. You start talking about genocide and how it's context dependent, and you start grinning over it. You look like you're about to bust out laughing over this person questioning you on whether students should be calling for genocide on your campus. Weird stuff, man. Weird.
It really is. I mean, when somebody does that to me, if we're talking about some very serious stuff, and you are pushing somebody, and they just start smiling and grinning, describes it more accurately. It makes you want to punch that person. It just makes you want to punch that person in the face. So it's very interesting that the president there would actually do something like that.
She might have this thing. It's also a thing. I mean, assuming the best, there are people who have like a nervous grin. When they get nervous, they start grinning as like some sort of like, hey, if I'm smiling or something like that, it's like de-escalating. There was a guy on the original Scared Straight. So back in like the 70s, they did the Scared Straight. They made an entire movie out of all these troublemakers that they took to prison. And one of them kept grinning, and all the inmates started like threatening him and talking about what they're gonna do to him and stuff. And he was talking about it in an interview 20 years later. He goes, I have a nervous grin. When I feel threatened, I start grinning. I can't stop. I can't stop grinning. And he goes, and that made everyone come at me. I was scared to death and I couldn't stop grinning, but they see me grinning, so they all go for me. Anyway, that's like best case scenario for this woman, because the alternative is that she was just sick and evil and she likes it.
Yeah. That's messed up. Messed up.
From the river to the sea. But what does it really mean? Those hearing this for the first time probably don't know that this is a call to action against Jews. It calls for the establishment of a state of Palestine, from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea, erasing the state of Israel. You heard that right. This isn't a message of peace. It's a call for the end of the world's only Jewish state and its people. That's how this phrase is anti-Semitic, and that's why it's so hateful. And by the way, it's also the opposite of a two-state solution to the conflict. It's been used.
Exactly.
He's pointing out exactly what we point out.
Yeah. It would be an end to the Jewish state, which is also very much supported by people around the world because it is a Jewish state. Let's be very honest. There are different conflicts in the world that are between Muslims and others that most people don't care about, that most states don't care about. I mean, one of the biggest conflicts that people were very vocal about was the whole China issue, right? The Uyghur people and their treatment in China. But you have only seen some people here and there say something, but the governments were quiet. It just always went away, and you still don't have remotely as much support. But this whole Israel-Palestine thing, this is so big and so popular because it is about Jews. And among Muslims, it is so popular because it is about Muslims versus Jews. You can't do that. You can't accept that. You can't accept Jews having the upper hand against Muslims. Because then how will those days come when the Jews will be eradicated, and even rocks and trees will say, there is a Jew behind me, come and kill him? How can Jews exist? Isn't this oppression? Ayatollah Khamenei said, I just joined an anonymous group here in Tehran called the Leather Strap Daddies. So difficult finding a devoted group of Muslims to hang out with after work. The gaming gingerbread man said, in my uni they were teaching that Islamic conquest was a response to the colonial imperialistic Christians. Is that mental? Were they really teaching that? Where were they teaching that? Because that is just insanely ahistorical and ridiculous. Gosh, please don't be serious. Please say you made this up and this actually didn't happen. Please make another super chat and say no, I made it up. Chloe said the gingerbread man silly because Roman Empire mass converted to Christianity after Constantine and did little conquest to expand. Then Momo came. Well, there you have it. Giovanni Garcia said, I'm doing my part. I'm spreading the Hadith 2926 on X, which calls for Jewish extermination. Please do. Everyone should see it. Everyone should see it. Everyone should see where it comes from. Everyone should see that it's a general belief across the Muslim world. And I know lots of people don't want to, even if they know, they don't want to bring Islam into this discussion. But I think any attempt not to bring it into the discussion is vain. And the Hadith, the Islamic belief in the eradication of Jews is at the core, at the center of this conflict from a Muslim perspective. So you can ignore it as much as you want, but from a Muslim perspective, it is always there. And that should be acknowledged. We have a problem. That should be acknowledged. Michael Dory said, will you guys respond to the newest video of Saif? I didn't really look at it. I saw a beginning of it where he said they don't even know Tafsir Saad, and it's like,
I'm sure it's going to be powerful, and I'm going to talk like this the entire time. And
yeah, ridiculous. I don't think
yes,
so.
we will. Yes.
I never watched any of his videos before we responded to them, and I don't think I'm going to.
Yeah, keep in mind, there are all kinds of people who respond to our stuff. It's basically some days we'll be like, hey, what should we respond to? You think we should respond? Let's respond to one of the guys who are responding to us.
Yeah.
And okay, who are we going to go with? We're going to go with Fareed. We're going to go with yeah.
That day it was just very spontaneous, right? I just told you, hey, you know what? Let's do the
No, I told you. I said oh yeah, it just popped up in my feed, and I said, hey, Saif responded to you.
And I said I don't really care. And then next day I said, hey, let's just respond to that. Okay, I remember. Loaves of Bread said Norwegians will soon be performing genocide core. Yeah. I actually look when he said Palestinian. What? Yes. Whatever. Yes. Kenny G said from the Mississippi River to SeaWorld. Okay, let's see.
For decades as a rallying cry for anti-Israel activists and terrorist groups like Hamas. Now, despite its hateful message,
No, they're a resistance movement. Why would you call them terrorists? They're just resisting.
Seeing this all around the world, especially during Hamas's terror assault on Israel, on college campuses. In Germany, where calls for the elimination of Israel are banned, Minette Soccer Club suspended their player Anwar Al-Ghazi over a post accusing Israel of genocide and ending with this phrase. In Austria, where police banned a pro-Palestinian protest for using the phrase and characterizing it as a call to violence. So let's be clear. Advocating for Palestinian statehood.
There's a very nice video, but please, why is the music so loud?
It's not anti-Semitic, but calling for the elimination of the Jewish state, that is.
And I would say calling for the elimination of the Jewish state based on some very, very predictable premises. Definitely. But from the river to sea, parking spots will be free. No.
Welcome back to Piers Morgan Uncensored. I'm joined now by
that it's hateful. It's absolutely.
There's an interview. I don't want to watch an interview now. Thank you. Here is an interesting thing that I actually didn't look at and didn't further investigate. But I like this channel, Corey Gil Schuster. He always goes around asking people in Israel and the Palestinian territories about questions that the viewers have, and then lets them answer to show their answers to the world. I personally haven't watched this video, and I just noticed that it's 20 minutes long. Don't think we want to go through all of this, but actually, David, do you think we should go through this whole thing to see what the Palestinians think?
I don't know, but look, what do you mean by that jacket?
ومن شمال هذا الجنوب هنو كل عم السلام يروح الاحتلال يزيل عندنا.
That occupation just fades away.
And what happens to the Israelis?
وإيش يصير إنه في الإسرائيليين
They
إذا
fly away on magic donkey.
إنه يا بلاقوا دولة ثانية يعيشوا فيها يا إما بنعيش مع بعض بسلام يعني.
like either find another land for them or we live in peace together.
Oh, okay, that's actually a good perspective. See, why are you saying they are all bad, David?
نهر للبحر فلسطين راح تكون حرة. إيش قصدنا بهاي المقولة؟
نهر للبحر إنه فلسطين يعني بالنهاية راح
that in the end Palestine
يعني كيف بدي أقول لك راح تتحرر.
Palestine will be free.
تكون معجزة.
It will be a miracle that it becomes free.
يعني مستحيل إنه النهر
would be a miracle.
This guy says it's magic.
Because it's impossible that river meets the sea.
He's just getting. No, notice what he's doing. He's just like asking people, and then including all the most insane, idiotic. Because this is what would happen. This is what would happen if you actually ask people.
Yeah.
فبقول لك يعني إنه
But it
راح يكون في معجزة إنه
that it'll be a miracle that there'll be all free, like one land, one people.
Okay, so what does that mean? What happens to the Israelis? How are they
وإيش
involved?
بصير يعني بالإسرائيليين إذا
إيش أقول لك يصير فيهم يعني.
like I don't know what to tell you.
وإحنا
What happened to them?
يعني بصراحة حنضل يعني في رباط إلى يوم القيامة.
Like we'll always be connected till last
يعني
day.
فيش نهاية للإسرائيليين.
Like there's no like just end for Israelis. Like
يعني
So they'll stay.
يعني راح يضلوا.
راح يضلوا بس إحنا
Yes, they'll stay.
يعني في القرآن الكريم
But in Quran
موجود إنه راح نضل إحنا في رباط إلى يوم القيامة. راح نضل
that will
نجاهد.
always be connected. مجاهد.
نجاهد يعني.
That will always be fighting.
I don't think that he said there will be an end. I think what he meant is that that there is no. So what he says is it will go on. It will be there until the day of judgment. And what he's basically implying here, which he doesn't say very directly, which is very surprising to me, to be honest, is that the fighting will go on until the day will come where they will fight the Jews and get rid of them. That's basically what he's referencing.
So if the Israelis stay and it's all Palestine is free, what is it? What is it? A democratic state, an Islamic state? What is it?
إنه يعني إذا صارت فلسطين حرة أو ضلوا الإسرائيليين فأي نوع من دولة راح تكون؟ إنه ديمقراطية أو عنصرية؟
يعني يضلوا طبعا راح تضل عنصرية.
It'll always be non-democratic. Like why?
لأنه الاحتلال صراحة وجعنا كثير.
I don't know what kind of drugs this guy is taking, but I feel like he's not even answering the questions properly.
Because the occupation really hurt us.
شهداء، جرحى، إصابات، يعني في كثير أشياء.
Like a lot of things.
يعني إحنا بنخسر وطننا عليه.
Yeah, like we're losing our land.
لما نحكي أو
Losing our land means basically that they exist. That's the problem here.
احنا هم كثير بيسمعوا نحكي انه فلسطين رح تكون حرة من النهر للبحر. ان شاء الله. ان شاء الله. شو يعني هذه العبارة؟ ولما يصير هذا الاشي شو رح يكون النظام؟ فأولا ايش يعني؟ بعدين شو النظام رح يكون؟
ايش يعني انها تكون حرة؟
من النهر للبحر.
انها تكون حرة من دون احتلال.
That it be free without occupation.
انه احنا نكون عايشين على طبيعتنا بدون اي قيود.
That we live freely without any restraints.
ناخذ حريتنا بكل شيء سواء بالخرجات بالطلعات بكل شيء.
Everything, whether it's going in, it's going out, with everything.
I just find it so annoying that that this exchange here can't just consist of asking a very simple question, which means what exactly do you mean by from the river to the sea, and them then giving a direct answer instead of saying, well, you know, logistics and life and freedoms and stuff. Can you tell us what you mean by the slogan?
Between the two sides, between the West Bank and Israel.
ما بين الضفة الغربية وإسرائيل يعني؟
لا.
ولا إيش
يعني؟ Oh, look at that.
يعني نطلع ونعبر زي ما بدنا.
وبتمنى كمان إنها فلسطين اللي هي عرب 48 إنها نرجع إحنا عادي مش إسرائيل لا اللي هي دولة فلسطين.
We hope that all the Palestinians and the Arabs of 1948 go back to the occupied land of 1948, not into Israel.
So meaning, she means Israel doesn't exist.
هذا معناه إنه من النهر للبحر ما راح تكون في إسرائيل.
لا إن شاء الله لا.
That's.
Inshallah, it won't exist. Sad. This one wants to make Israel go away, and that's just very sad. Maybe she can do it one day. I wish her all the best on her path, on her adventure. What do you think, David? Do you think she'll get it done?
Nope.
That's it.
Someone's living in a fantasy world here.
So she said, no, we don't want it to be. So yes, that's what it is.
Nothing else. What will be the system?
شو رح يكون النظام؟
Okay, this is very painful to watch live. I just realized. Yes. All right. Is there anything else we want to go through? Let me go through super chats here. Let's take some super chats and get back to this.
Take some super chats.
Uthman Tomato Ketchup said, Mo sucked the tongue of boys. Then there's Aisha. She was 9 years old. Plus, he had 2 legs, so he was bipedal. U2B friendly speeding. Thank you. Very, very nice. I don't know what's going on lately. Chloe said, from the liver to PP was more sack of weed. Kenny G said, AP, you are my favorite atheist. Now become my favorite Christian so you can replace David. I dare you. Alhamdulillah.
You've been dared.
Yeah. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that.
You've been dared. You're not yellow, are you, AP?
Nah. What is that? I'm not American. You have to explain to me those American phrases that you say.
Yellow?
Yeah.
That's an old way of saying scared.
Oh, I see.
That's like 1800s stuff. So say it in cowboy movies. You ain't yellow, are you?
I don't know about that. I don't know. I have never heard of it. Ayatollah Khamenei said, my friend had some trouble performing with his 17 wives recently.
my friend.
He fears he is shooting blanks. Do either of you know a good chiropractor to fix this problem? Just look at some Islamic sources. You'll find some.
No, get some of Ali Dawa's orgasm intensifiers. They would give you the sexual strength of 30 men.
Ali Dawa would never advocate for a thing like orgasm intensifier or something like that publicly, because that's shameful. That's worthy of mockery, according to his friend Mohammed Hijab, to engage in such kind of things. So please don't slander anybody here, David.
I apologize. You're right. I'm wrong.
Partial Act 17 Mirror said, this guy is a mirror of you, apparently. AP got access to full news articles on Wall Street Journal and other sites that we have no blocks. Use archive.ph and then no ads in the full article. They can't block him because then can't be indexed. LOL. I actually, I think I just earlier today signed up for a little trial on Wall Street Journal. Otherwise, I'm not really subscribed to it. I only did that because I wanted to look at that article that we're talking about. But yeah, you can always use these archive links that work. Chloe said, from the land to the sea, Cross will judge earth for free. That's interesting. Is that from the Bible?
Yeah, that's Romans chapter 45.
Oh, interesting. Chloe said, from the sea to river, God of Israel will deliver. I think this is from the Book of Council of Nicaea.
Chloe's got a point. We do need some awesome slogans. You know what I mean? We need to come up with cool slogans and have people chant them.
Yeah. Chloe said, from river to sea, student must learn geography. Kool-Aid Luke said, college leftists ought to know that premarital sex, alcohol, and illegal drug consumption are all haram in the eyes of Hamas.
It's not a chant. You're reading it like a chant.
Well, it was
just pointing something out for college.
Nice. College leftists ought to know that premarital sex, alcohol, and illegal drug consumptions are all haram in the eyes of Hamas. Anyway.
It almost worked until the end.
Yeah, almost. The end broke it, man. You should have tied something else instead of Hamas. If it ended with an L, like Hamal, there would be like college leftists ought to know that premarital sex and alcohol and illegal drug Anyway, SC Rocket XR1 said, deep thoughts from Sheikh Jack Handy. From the leather to the anus, Islam is a gas that spreads heinous. That will soon pass. Man.
You don't even remember Deep Thoughts with Jack Candy. So
Imagine what the average person who just came into this discussion, who just encountered this channel for the first time, will think in response to these super chats. Let us super chat responsibly. I'm just kidding. Like, I love these things. Just do more. Voyager said, "From the river to the sea, Palestine should be free from the world map." Can't say that. Can't say that.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say that. Messianic Apostate said, "David and Ridwan, what is your response to Daniel calling you two and Harris Sultan Zionist scumbags when he demanded a debate?" Oh, I am a Zionist.
Didn't I accept?
You did, yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
I said, yeah, as far as I can recall, I said, okay, we'll debate. Well, was Muhammad a true prophet? And then your topic. If you're picking a topic, I'm picking a topic. I'm not your dhimmi. And he backed down. What can I do?
I accepted it, and he backed out as well. I also I posted a little exchange between us as well. Just because the guy has such a big mouth and acts like, "Ooh, they're scared of me. Zionist scumbags are scared of me." So I had to post what happened between us. I don't have a problem with him calling us Zionist scumbags. I am a happy and proud Zionist scumbag. But
and it, by the way, it's funny because like that's Daniel, but Jake, who's not nearly as well known, is even worse. We agreed to like 4 or 5 different debates with him. He backed down from all of them and then ran and said, "We're running from him and we refuse to debate." It's like, my goodness, man. And the fans do not care. We could say, here's them backing down from 100 debates, us agreeing to all 100 debates, them backing down from every single one. And they could say, "You see, there's no debate, so they're running from us." And their fans would go, "Yeah, they're scared." Wild stuff.
Yeah. So here's me chatting with Modern Day Debate, James. This is after Daniel challenged me, by the way. I didn't challenge Daniel. Again, as always, it is Daniel challenging me here, upon which I respond and I say, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to have a debate with him." And I say to James, "Please tell Daniel that I challenge him to debate. Did Hamas target civilians?" So this is after our exchange. What actually happened is he first said, "We should. I will debate you on which religion is responsible for the Israel-Palestine conflict, Islam or Judaism." I said, "What in the world? What kind of stupid topic is that? Let's discuss the actual conflict. Let's discuss the conflict that is happening. Let's discuss the war. Let's debate the war." He's like, "No, I want this topic." Anyway, then he went on Twitter to make excuses for Hamas and to deny that they targeted civilians. So I texted James and said, "Please tell Daniel that I challenge him to debate. Did Hamas target civilians?" Upon which Daniel Kikachu gave this following response here: "No one can legally defend Hamas, which is relevant because Apis and his degenerate buddies have been reporting me to the FBI."
What did your topic have to do with him defending Hamas? You don't have to.
No, I said.
Did they target civilians? Right?
Yeah,
You
did
could
Hamas target civilians? Yeah.
You could be on any side of any issue and think that they're evil and claim that they did or they did not target civilians.
I know. This is just this is clearly just an excuse. He says no one can legally defend Hamas, which is relevant because Apis and his degenerate buddies have been reporting me to the FBI and trying to entrap me for a while now. So my suggested topic or nothing: Islam versus Judaism. Which religion is to blame for Israel-Palestine war? What kind of a stupid topic is this? It's like Daniel comes up with the dumbest titles for a debate. Of course, he will not discuss the actual issue here because he goes around saying on Twitter that Israel is lying, Hamas is doing a good job, they're good, they don't kill civilians left and right. We all know they do. So I challenge him on this very simple issue, and he's like, no, that's dangerous because the FBI is after me and I'm scared. These are the Islamic apologists, man.
Yeah, he's got his mujahideen.
Yes.
Mujahideen brothers out there dying, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to be accused of supporting Hamas. I'll get in trouble.
I'm scared of the FBI.
I'll get a visit from the FBI asking what I mean. I don't want to do that."
Did you see this exchange here?
What?
This is a so Hanmazer said, while people in America apologize and make excuses for Hamas, it seems like Palestinians in Gaza are sick and tired of being used as shields by this terrorist group. And here's this little exchange here.
بدي اوجه رسالتي الى حكومه حماس حسبي الله عليك والله يلعنك ويلعن ابوك ويلعن اللي جابك والله يلعنك يا سنوار يا ابن الكلب حسبي الله عليك دمرتنا
محمد يعني محمد
هجرنا من غزه على خانونس ومن خانونس على رفح سرقنا احنا واهلنا واولادنا ونسواننا سلم هالاسطر هالكلاب اللي عندك بعرض الله احنا مش حدش مقدر ما حدش مقدر المواقف اللي احنا فيها بس الله اللي عالم في حالنا السنمار تحت الارض متخبي هو والضيف والقرف اللي زيه احنا ميه مش ملاقيين احنا ميه مش ملاقيين السنوار اذا كنت تسمعنا اذا كنت بتسمعنا يا سنوار.
This guy is calling and cursing Hamas, their leadership, calling them by name. Yahya Sinwar and the other one he mentioned, Dave. He calls them, condemns them, curses them, says you bastards, and so on. I find the reaction here from this host here very interesting. As soon as the guy goes off, look at his face.
إلى حكومة حماس حسبي الله عليك والله يلعنك ويلعن أبوك ويلعن اللي جابك والله يلعنك يا سنوار يا ابن الكلب حسبي الله عليك دمرتنا يا
محمد يعني محمد
هجرنا من
Well, that's the situation. But hey, no, Hamas is proud of using these people as you know, cannon fodder, as human shields. He's proud of it. Just like Ali Dawa would say.
We're proud of that.
Anyway, this is, by the way, the new logo of Harvard University. So, yes. Stuart Walker said Muhammad was white, wasn't he? LOL. He was white as white. Whiter than this here. Rezo D said white. Maps are just Zionist propaganda. They are. All maps are Zionist propaganda. Wednesday Adams. Oh, hey, Wednesday Adams is here with us. Said, you debate Muslim apologists? That's weird. I debated a Muslim apologist about Aisha's marriage age in Hadith, and he claimed that the majority Hadith are inaccurate. How can I debunk this?
Well, you might not be able to, because if you're, one, you have to clarify what kind of Muslim you're talking to, because some Muslims, in fact, most Muslims who reject the Hadith don't actually reject the Hadith. They just say they do because they don't want to have to deal with the Hadith. There are Muslims who actually reject the Hadith and have actual reasons for it. But if you are talking to someone who rejects the Hadith, there isn't a good way to defend the Hadith. They're so late that if someone wants to say, I don't trust them, okay, what can you do? Because it's pretty reasonable not to trust sources that come 2 centuries after the events they report, that were written in an atmosphere where the Muslim scholars were cooking up hadiths like they were cooking up falafel, right? They're just making them up. Every new dispute on ethics or politics that would arise, someone would suddenly come out and, I found a hadith. I've got a hadith on this. They're making things up. And so if someone says, hey, I don't trust the Hadith, one, just you can start asking some questions. So the first question you should ask, if someone says, I don't believe in the Hadith, saying, hey, what's the Shahada? If that person says that the Shahada is there's no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger, yeah, you're busted. That comes from the Hadith. You can ask Muslims, you can ask him, how many times a day does he pray? The Quran says 3. So if he says, I pray 5 times a day, okay, that's from the Hadith. You can start asking questions. And if he's giving answers that come from the Hadith, not from the Quran, you're probably dealing with a faker.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's it. Next meme.
Oh, wait. Also, one follow-up. Sit down with your Hadith denying friend and watch Muhammad Hijab's video. It's called something like the extreme consequences of following Quran only Islam or something like that. Watch that And Hijab's going to point out that if you just go with the Quran, you'd conclude that you can have sex with a 5-year-old and that you can slit your wife's throat if she's disobedient and so on. So, yeah, watch that and ask your friend to respond. Anyway, once you do all that stuff, ask those few questions and then watch the Muhammad Hijab video, you'll probably find out if it's a serious hadith denier or is just trying to avoid discussing the embarrassing material in there.
Yeah, I would say so. When it comes to discussing the historicity of Islam and all of the Islamic beliefs and aspects, the Quran only fans don't really have much to go for their beliefs. It's just Quran only fans are not very good, not building their house on solid grounds. Yeah. Angel Jibril said, AP, drop David Wood and Allah will grant you streams with Ali Dawa.
We're proud of that.
Or golden streams with Muhammad Hijab.
Oh yeah, the golden streams. Dirty Books said Quran only fan. Why is everyone twisting everything I say here? I was thinking it would be funny. It would be nice to create a platform called Quran Only Fans, where you can subscribe to content creators who recite the Quran in suggestive ways. Jack Ray said she was 9 years old. Nathaniel Koifman said,
or it's like, because that's the biggest thing that made Muslims flip out about the film Submission was that there were Quran verses written on a woman's body.
Oh yeah.
And so if you wanted Quran only fans, yeah, you got sexy women in bikinis with Quran verses written all over them, and they're reciting them. Dude, if you made Quran only fans even as a joke, that would be very popular real quick. Yeah, even if we just did it as like a joke, it's just like a joke video, like a fake advertisement for Quran only fans.
I'm seriously considering it now. Nathaniel Kaufman said, AP, as a Jewish student, I appreciate everything you do. I'm curious, do you have any Jewish friends or acquaintances? Anyway, I hope I meet you one day. I hope so too.
He's got one, 2.7%, baby.
Yeah. That's all I want to say about it. Yeah. A little bit. I work for Mossad, so I could consider them my Jewish friends.
Mossad loves us.
Yeah.
Mossad sends us money all the time, so how are we not friends?
Yeah, of course, by now we are friends. John Choice made a super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the contribution. Randy Man made a super sticker, which I bet is a very nice looking thing, but I haven't really looked at yet. It's a little thing with a heart. That's cool. Jackie Ray said, what we got here is failure to communicate, to educate. It would be nice if I could bring the things on the screen here, the super stickers. What is this from?
That's from a movie called Cool Hand Luke, and it's a famous quotation. Like, you got the inmates and stuff, and the warden goes, "Now what we've got here is a failure to communicate," and they just change it to educate because that's the problem.
Nice, interesting. Ayatollah Khamenei said Jenny Craig is a Zionist plot to harm our devout shawarma supporters. I find these super chats.
Oh, I get it. Because Jenny Craig's like the diet company, and those guys are all fat, and so
I see.
Dieting is a Zionist plot.
Oh, okay, I get it. Cedric gifted Apostate Prophet memberships to everyone here, at least one person. That's almost everyone. Thank you for that. Very, very noble. Iga Fish, Japan non-profit org said American military would do the same.
Talking about American military faced with those circumstances would have rounded everyone up, set them down, stripped them, and then sorted them out.
Yeah, which is nothing to cry about, honestly, in the middle of a war.
Yeah, especially if you're the guys cheering for slaughtering over 1,000 people, and you cheer for that, and then say, "Oh, but these guys were made to sit down." Oh, look at this! Yeah.
Oh, this tweet is good. It says by Uri
awesome.
Kulianchik says this is Berlin in 1945. The fact that your cities look like shit doesn't make you the good guy.
Yeah, notice their argument. Look, our places have been bombed. That means we're the good guys and they're the abusers.
This is
this is Berlin.
Yeah. The thing is, you can think about what this guy is, the message this guy is delivering here. I've thought about it so many times, but this is just put in perfect words here. Like, yeah, I couldn't have said it better. This is wow. Point very, very well made.
And you could push that further. I mean, and draw more parallels. Why did Berlin look like this in 1945? Because the Germans started some crap with people who bombed them in response, right? Okay. Why does Gaza look like that right now? Because Hamas started some crap with some people who bombed them in response. Doesn't make you the good guys. He's got a point.
That is true. Dresden was worse. Dresden was worse, said John Mack. It indeed was. And you know what? When Dresden was bombed, with a very it was a very, very brutal attack. It was firebombing, and it was a massive bombing in revenge and as a sign of great power. Basically sending the message, stop the fighting. But it was a brutal attack. But what happened what happened immediately after the Dresden attack was that the Nazis actually tried to that Goebbels initiated a plan to leak a false, completely overinflated number of deaths in Dresden to the press, which they would then publish to the world and would claim like 200,000 people died in Dresden or something like that, which is a strategy that is not very different from what Hamas has been doing, and what they also did when that whole hospital parking lot explosion happened 2 months ago.
And I mean, think about the reasoning. You're dealing with Hitler. Okay, so that is a factor in how you respond.
Yeah.
If you guys were fighting over some little territory dispute or something like that, and okay, you don't want to go too far. If you're talking to a guy who wants to absolutely conquer you and turn your kids into a bunch of Nazis, all right, I'm going to bomb the crap out of you now. And I can't say I feel terrible about it. What are you laughing at? You laughing at this tweet?
The news here. Breaking: Hamas government office calls on the UN Security Council, the international community, and all countries around the world to end this brutal war and save the Gaza Strip before it is too late. This is
I just like to sing this song. It goes like this. Cry me a river. Cry me a river.
This is the same Hamas, by the way, that during the ceasefire was saying, we call on all elements within Palestine to get ready and deal severe blows to the Zionist entity and to cause even more damage. This is the same Hamas that just recently in an interview said October 7 was just the beginning. We will do it again and again and again until Israel is completely annihilated. This is the same Hamas that celebrated on that day and that committed all kinds of massacres. This is the same Hamas that has the stated goal of annihilating Israel. So why in the world would Israel care about the existence of them? And to be honest, if they are fighting with Hamas, if Hamas is in charge of the other side, if that is their opponent, and Hamas wants Israel completely gone, tell me why in the world would Israel even at this point consider the existence of Gaza as an entity? There, I said it.
I mean, I understand why you're laughing because this is just hilarious.
Yeah.
We're going to exterminate you. Oh, wait, they're exterminating us.
Help.
Ceasefire.
Help.
United Nations, come help us. Darn. Our college campus protest plan isn't panning out the way we thought it would. What are we going to do now? UN, help us. Too bad. You're done, Hamas. Stick a fork in you, Hamas. You're done.
Yes, absolutely. Isn't
it interesting that seriously, like as of next year, like Hamas won't be a thing anymore? It'll be a thing in history books, but might not be a thing. Again, you could still have it in theory because the leaders are billionaires who took all the aid and then live in other countries and drive Bugattis around. So you can they can still fund a movement and call it Hamas, but they will not be a threat. Not that one.
Whale. Israel also said that they are intending to eliminate the Hamas terrorists and also take out the Hamas leaders that are hiding in different countries. They want to.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Target and assassinate.
Mossad, our bankrollers have assassins. Because I keep thinking, Mossad, they just send us money. They've actually got, they've got people who will hunt down terrorists.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
And they said it very openly. We are done. We are not backing down. We will come for the heads, the leaders of Hamas who are hiding in different places, and we will take them out. We will kill them. So hope that happens.
We should make a skit. Where they're figuring out how to get all these Hamas billionaire leaders who are in other parts of the world. But check this out: you just walk up, just send somebody walk up to the Hamas leader and go, "Hey, there's a Jew hiding behind that tree over there. I heard the tree saying, come kill him." And then the Hamas dude will be like, "What? Let me go see." And he runs over there, and there's like Mossad behind the tree.
Yeah, that's good.
With an Uzi.
You know what's the dumb thing? When you hear about these things of people saying the rocks and the trees will say there's a Jew behind me, come and kill him. To lots of people, this might sound ridiculous, or you might think that these people just take that figuratively and all of that. But no, lots of, I would say most of the people who believe in that stuff actually do believe that the rocks and trees will actually speak to them and say, "There's a Jew behind me. Come and kill him."
Yeah. Muhammad said it, and that guy was all about talking trees and talking rocks and all that stuff.
Yes. So
I mean, if you're going to reject that, how do you take it seriously that the black stone is going to speak out and intercede for you?
Exactly. So let's watch this video.
Why is it only now that you have woken up and not when Hamas caused the previous pause to collapse?
Good point.
Derek, mine is bigger.
If this council wants to see a ceasefire, start by demanding it from Hamas, the party that broke the past two. Why is this draft resolution not directed at Yihya Sinwar and Ismail Haniyeh? Why? Do you not know who was responsible for ending the previous ceasefire and reigniting hostilities? Distinguished council members, Hamas is solely responsible for the humanitarian situation on the ground, and they must be held fully accountable by the council. Why is it only...
Exactly. But no, people just want to say, no, Israel needs to take responsibility. Israel, ceasefire. What ceasefire, man? What ceasefire?
What'd you say? I couldn't hear you over my giant Quran cigar.
Whoa, it's big.
Hold up, dude.
I could do that too.
Hang on.
I just rolled it too tightly. Oh, you have a giant Quran, don't you? Yeah, I said mine is bigger and immediately regarded it. See? What's coming? What is happening?
What's happening? You
What's
seriously want to know what's happening? Huh? You thought I was joking? You want to challenge me? I can't even. I have to turn sideways for this. I have to turn sideways. Think you're playing with? Think you're playing with here? You challenge the Dizzle. You challenge the Dizzle. You gotta come hard, son. You gotta come strapped or don't come at all.
Yeah, I'll let you work on that. Egg and Fish Japan nonprofit work. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Huh?
Whoa.
It's like Cheech and Chong right here. Cheech and Chong up in smoke.
I only have this small one. I guess I have to combine them or something. I don't know. You might need to get a big Quran.
Mine doesn't even fit on the screen. Mine can't even fit. Look, I can go diagonal. There we go. Thought I was joking.
Yes, yeah.
Watch the Muslims' response. Oh, look, right there's a verse condemning. Oh, you see, it's a miracle of Allah.
Didn't they do that when you did that Quran?
They do that every time. They do that. They do that every time. Whenever I do anything with the Quran, they go, "Oh, look, there's a verse right there that condemns the." Yeah, pretty much every page of the Quran does that. Geniuses, we know.
Good point. Egg and Fish Japan nonprofits, the orgs that been there, done that for the safety of Marines. This is referring to how the American Army would also, if they go to a region like that, take the people, strip them naked, search them, then evacuate them to a place. You have to consider they are in very hostile territory. Of course, nobody, the opponent there doesn't care about your feelings. What they care about is the safety of their own personnel, of their own people. And they can't have some crazy Hamas terrorists, hide weapons and put the Israeli IDF personnel in danger. Nobody cares about your feelings over that. That's true. Yeah. Brett Nanthet said Islamic indoctrination removes their conscience. It might. Jeff Dribbler, hey Jeff, what's up? Says from the river to the sea, college kids don't know history. Well, nobody said they will be educated. They just go into college. So yeah. Sid Dave said, congratulations to Jews for winning the Crusades. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Congratulations to the Jews for doing that. DG Ryder said Prince Bander's 3 hours talk and Yasser Arafat and Saudis trying to help Palestinians. Very revealing. People blamed Saudis for not doing enough. Bandar redeemed himself for trying. Arafat betrayed them. Yes. Arafat was a big embarrassment. Big embarrassment. But the thing is, what Arafat also did was, of course, he never had the intention to actually come to a permanent peace agreement. He had the intention of going as far as he can and then reject the peace once again. Because the goal there is not to actually make a peace agreement. The goal is to go and do what most of the Palestinians want, which is to eventually take everything, take more and more and more, which is why they will make more and more demands. You can't satisfy them. Can't satisfy their demands. That's just how it goes, son. Yeah. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. That's what they say. It's not what they mean. So Dave says, saw a video of settlers harassing innocent Palestinians, and it made me very sad. I support Israel, but I don't support settlements. I do support a two-state solution where both are safe, secure. Now, the settlement issue is a big discussion. Huge discussion.
Yeah, and you can have exactly that position, Sid Dave. You can say, hey, Hamas needs to be crushed. Israel needs to defend itself, but they shouldn't be. They shouldn't have these settlements here. That is a fairly common position. And what you'll find from the people who are supporting the settlements are basically people who are giving up on a two-state solution. They're like, this is not going to work. We need to keep pushing. We need to keep pushing these guys back because we need more area between us and them, and so on. And so that's the idea. But yes, for people who are actually thinking of some situation in the future where maybe Hamas is gone and everything, you know, and the people who give up on terrorism just want a place of their own, and so they could have their own state. People who are still hoping for some sort of two-state solution, the settlements would be a problem for that.
Yeah, I believe that if there wasn't the danger of, if there wasn't the severity of opinions and attitudes that the Palestinians, the Arabs hold, Israel would have annexed both of the territories a long time ago, because Israel took those in response to wars from the other side. But they didn't do it because annexing the land and integrating the people that live there means making them equal citizens of your land, as Israeli Arabs currently are. And if you want to give such a high number of people equal rights in your own land and have them make decisions over you, and you are giving that right to people who are quite violent and who violently want your eradication, that's probably not a good idea, right? So, big problem here. Big problem here. What are you going to do? Drunk Vax said, where do you lean on the political autism spectrum? Political. It's political. Do you know about the political autism spectrum, dude?
No, the political autism spectrum, no.
That's interesting. Political. Carol B said, looks like David Wood is enjoying a Corona cigar. Aren't we all?
They're Cuban.
Yeah.
But the cube is the Kaaba.
I'm kind of thinking, I haven't done it in a long time, but maybe I should join the ranks of those who did actually smoke a Quran before, literally.
We should both do it, and we'll do it live when someone especially ticks us off, and we'll make some Quran cigars and smoke them.
Yeah. Maybe. Paul Jones said,
Why stuttering?
You guys are great. Thank you.
We're proud of that.
Harshal said, why left in the West support Palestine, even though Arab culture is against everything they stand for? Because people are stupid.
They've been programmed to view everything through the lens of oppressor and oppressed. And then once you've done that, once you program them to see everything through that lens, then you say, okay, Israel's the oppressors, the Palestinians are the oppressed. So whose side are you on? Palestinians.
Safina says, smoke weed from the Quran. LOL. That's very disrespectful. I might do that.
Yeah, totally. We'll smoke crack from the Quran, but not weed.
Vinny the Pooh said, from the tunnels to the sea, Hamas got very soggy. Did you see the videos of the IDF pumping seawater into the tunnels?
Oh, no, I didn't see the video, but I saw that they were doing it. That was pretty funny. Giving those jihadis a well-needed bath.
Yeah.
Hey, people, you can get your own like craft beer making.
Yes.
Your own craft beer making equipment.
Yes.
So you can actually make beer in your garage.
Make beer.
But we should do it and like come up with like a Quran beer and everything has a Quran verse on it. Anyway.
That's a good idea.
And we can smoke Quran cigars while drinking our Quran beer.
That's good.
Oh, we'll call it what everyone jokes about. We'll call it talk beer, right? Take beer or something like that.
Take beer. That's good. That's a good idea.
We'll sell some of those. We'll make some and then we'll sell it at special events.
Okay, let's
sit down. We'll all get together and drink it.
Let's get together. Let's sit down and talk about this after the show. Let's make the plans about that plan.
Apostate Prophet presents Take Beer.
And
the official beer of the counter jihad movement.
And then somebody yells that. Wait a minute.
And then we have We have
This
the
is-
Quran verse in there about alcohol having some benefits.
This is the guy that we were talking about yesterday that somebody mentioned, and I responded with it. His name is Pierre Vogel. He's from Germany. He's a German convert to Islam. He converted like, I don't know, decades ago, and became very.
This one they're
insane.
saying is your cousin. Is this the one they're saying is your cousin or something?
Yes. But he has some very interesting moments. He talks about how our problem is that we can't wake up and do what is needed.
Das ist das Problem. Glauben Sie mir, das ist das Problem.
Das Problem sind die Ideen im System.
Takbir! 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 Deswegen müssen wir bereit sein, vor dem Pharao zu stehen.
He sounds like Hitler. He's like, I mean, he's sitting there. Talk beer, talk beer, talk beer.
Yeah, like the whole.
Das Problem sind die Jews, die Juden.
There's another one.
Sie kennen 2 Leute von den Männern jetzt. Und ihr wisst das selber. Und ihr wisst das selber. Aber derjenige, der ein Vor...
You know what's funny, by the way? So they have their whole campaign here, which is the Noble Quran, and then it just says read. This is how they attract the attention. Read, but read in German is lies, but when you spell it, it looks like this. It looks like lies.
Lies. So they put it in English. More. Look, it says it up in the corner as well.
Yes.
On the banner on top.
If you don't, if you're
Lies.
unaware of the English, of the German, and you just look at that, it says lies, the Quran.
Hey, you should make a screenshot of that and post a little picture and circle that and say at least they're admitting it.
Von der Moschee ist, der jeden Tag zum Moschee bringen. Wir müssen die Dauer überall hinbringen.
Über alles.
Blockhütte im Wald bauen, wo wir Dauer draufschreiben und dann warten, bis irgendeiner sich verläuft.
What he's complaining about here is we have to do more dawah. We can't just put a sign out there and wait for someone to go in there. We have to take it everywhere. We have to inform everyone. People are not converted to Islam. This is what he's complaining about here.
That dude got me so excited over his lies that messed up my Quran cigar.
Mine just fell
down.
Sie müssen die Dauer in jedes Haus bringen. Wir müssen die Dauer überall hinbringen. Wir können keine Blockhütte im Wald bauen, wo wir Dauer draufschreiben und dann warten, bis irgendeiner sich verläuft.
I find it so funny that he loses it and actually punches the table.
But isn't that interesting though? Like, I mean, compare that with like the U.S. What is it about Germans that they just eat this stuff up, man? What? I actually seriously wonder why this is a German thing, and my theories are that it's just something in the water over there, or that it's something about language, that like the language you speak actually psychologically veers you in certain directions or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I think it's the language, man.
It's the language.
Because like what that dude just did there, you could not do that in French. You couldn't do it. I mean, you could yell in French and stuff, but it wouldn't sound like that. I mean, it wouldn't sound anything like that. It would sound stupid.
Oui, monsieur. Je m'appelle.
Be like, you sound like an idiot, right?
Yeah. And you are right when he goes like Takbir, Allahu Akbar, Takbir. It sounds like when Hitler would go Sieg, and then everyone goes Heil, Sieg, Heil, Sieg, Heil. They would do that. It just reminds me of that. It's very funny,
dude. I don't know why I'm the one who has to give you all these great video ideas. Take some clips of this guy. Just take a couple then take some clips of Hitler when he's all amped up and splice them back and forth and post it. Boom, done. Viral video.
Can't do that.
Take you literally 10 minutes to make that video.
Can't do that.
Viral.
I'm actually going to show him do the thing. What is this, man? I'm not listening to music here. Wait a minute. How about this one?
And then at some point you put the quote from him saying, "Why couldn't we have the religion of Muhammad?" And then a picture of him with the Mufti of Jerusalem.
What's funny is,
or
you
you take your buddy. Hey, check it out. You take your buddy, you take his audio and splice it over Hitler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just have Hitler there, and he's just the movement, but you have the voice of your buddy, your cousin.
What's funny is several years ago they just casually removed lots of Nazi videos and Hitler videos from YouTube for some reason. So there's now
might need to go to Rumble or BitChute for those.
Yeah, especially Rumble. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what we're talking about. Farfour dance.
Yeah. Matter of fact, splice Farfour in there. You got your buddy here. And you got Hitler, and then just the Farfour dance in the middle.
Yeah. I wanna look at that quickly. I wanna look at the Farfour. Where is Farfour? Where'd that video go? Oh, here it is.
What was Farfour?
أنا جدي هذه الأرض اسم بعد ما احتلوها واخذوها يا جدي. هذه الأمانة بتمنى تحافظ عليها يا فرفور، وهذا المفتاح بيكون معك لما ترجع البلاد. لما ترجع البلاد بتفتح فيها فرفور.
I'm dying. I'm dying. It's ridiculous.
لما ترجع البلاد بتفتح فيها وهذا المفتاح
Farfour.
معك.
My child bride is too strong for me. What do I do? This is why you need Ali Dawa's orgasm intensifier pills. Yeah,
proud of that.
Hey, it sounds exactly the same. See, do your Alidawa voice again. I'll do it. I'll play it together. It sounds exactly the same.
What?
Speak like Alidawa for a second.
Yo, hey, B.
We're proud of that.
She's old enough to bleed. She's old enough to breed.
Proud of that.
See, it sounds exactly the
If
same.
there's fluff on the muff, then she is old enough.
Proud of that.
If there's grass on the field, let's play.
Proud of that.
Okay. Gigi Ryder said, I don't know who AW is, but AW and DW.
It's my cousin Albert.
No, I think this is Annual
Albert.
Wire and Daily
Albert
Wire.
Wood.
Albert Wood and David Wood. I was Norm Finkelstein and Chomsky type Jew in Bush era. Joined peace group. Chant free Palestine. I heard river to sea. Wait, what? Later I read Hamas charter. I had been deceived. That's some good awakening. See, now I'm being influenced by German again. That's some good awakening there. It indeed is. I still don't get what exactly drives people like Norm Finkelstein, who are like who is the number one, the one person that the neo-Nazis go to, that the Islamists go to, that the communists who are anti-Jewish go to. They all have to just go him. There's this one guy. They have to go to him and immediately start quoting him and showing him whenever they need to counter some Israeli or some Zionist, talking points.
And they're like that. They're like that with everything, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like they're the ultimate kings of cherry picking.
Yeah.
When it comes to like books. So notice they'll go to the Bible. You can have an entire book of the Bible, like the Gospel of John, which is as anti-Islamic in theology as you can possibly have. And they'll go right to the middle of the book and say, here's something, as long as you ignore all the verses before it and all the verses after it, see, this proves that Islam is true. But they'll do that with everything. They'll do that. You could have 100,000 Jews all refuting Islam. Who will they go to? They'll go to Tovia Singer because he criticized something from Christianity. You see, Jews are refuting it. And of course, you can have all kinds of positions out there. And if Norman Finkelstein says something they agree with, then he's the go-to guy.
Go-to. At P said, this question is for both of you. Why do Muslims always insult during a debate or argument?
Because for them, the purpose is not to show that you have the best argument. It's to show that you're stronger and more powerful than your opponent. So they start insulting to degrade the other person in order to kind of distract away from the arguments, and then to just, well, we're strong. We're insulting the other person. The other person's just sitting there.
Yeah. They don't bother about. There are not many great arguments that they can make. The arguments generally suck.
Wrong.
Islam
What
is
about the perfect preservation of the Quran? Aha.
The arguments for Islam generally suck. And
what about the scientific miracles?
Well, there you go. There's a goal. But Muslims also learned from the very beginning, from a very young age, to hate and to fight. So, unfortunately, that's a very, very quick thing to go to, which is why you can always see debates between all kinds of different people that go respectfully. But when you see debates between Islamic apologists and others, it derails very, 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 very quickly. There's no chance, no hope at all. Whoa. What do you see?
Everything is so clear now because I'm seeing it through the Quran. That was dumb.
Nice. Angel Jibril said, hey, Angel Jibril is here. Angel Jibril said, David Wood can't read the titles of your books through your low-resolution camera, so here's some shekels to buy an 8K one. Also, maybe list the titles later. Just one problem, Angel Jibril. You're making the super chat to me. So.
There's actually two problems. Two, it's not a low-resolution camera.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't have it focused on that stuff back there.
Yeah. There's that.
Well, wait, I'm sitting there looking at the screen. I can see that Descartes right there. It says it right there. What are you complaining about?
You probably see it clearer than it actually than it appears on the stream.
Oh yeah, so I'm seeing it through StreamYard. Then yeah, okay.
Yeah, I also see myself much clearer on here than it is on the YouTube watch page. On the YouTube watch page, it almost looks like one of those old games from the 80s. It looks like Minecraft. Anyway, Nick Fuentes, Dylan Mulvaney. said I am the president of Trans for Palestine. Nick Fuentes. Okay. That's nice. I hope Nick Fuentes sees this. Remember when he was watching our stream and sending all his guys over? And
yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. And he was daring.
Well, wait, we were on IP's. We were on IP's channel for one of those when they started sending all those guys over, but they all wanted to be recognized, so they all kept putting in super chats. And
yeah.
They broke all of his records for super chats, even though we're blasting them. That was funny.
It was the most super chats he ever had on a stream, and that was all thanks to Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes, you might be a neo-Nazi, but hey, sometimes your stupidity and the stupidity of your gang is really beneficial for others. So thank you for helping a YouTuber like Inspiring Philosophy. Your help will never be forgotten. Never be forgotten. Yeah. Drunk Vax said, "Can you eat a Quran? I don't care how."
Can
you
I?
do it."
I have. I mean, not a whole Quran, but I've eaten some of the Quran. In fact, in one video, I washed it down with a beer. Keep in mind, we don't just randomly do that stuff. We do that stuff in response to horrible, horrible stuff. But
Yeah.
yes, and been there, done that.
Well, I eat Qurans for dinner all the time. Sanke said David Wood make a list of Israeli history articles. Christian AP, let's make an OnlyFans for ASMR Quran reading atheist. Draw your own conclusions.
Got a point. People make good points, AP.
This is good. This is good.
And notice they're not saying, hey, everyone needs to convert. They're just pointing out some evidence.
Oh boy. Wednesday Adams said that Muslim on Twitter space I debated has already gone violent verbally. He asked me to debate an imam in a mosque in person instead of online. LOL. This is the obsession. The real, like, it's so funny. I see academics, like world-renowned scientists, have exchanges online through Zoom, but then you have Muslim apologists who are like in the street who are like, no, you have to come stand in front of me in the park and have a debate with me. Online
Yes,
is not
you must,
yes,
you must spend $10,000 to come do this. And you must have 10,000 people with you, or we will not have any discussion.
It's just
or you've got like the Muhammad hijab and Hamza Sortzis, and you want to have a debate, then first you must agree to fight. You must agree to fight us. And it's all just, guys, if you don't want to have the discussion, just say you don't want to have the discussion. It's that easy.
Yeah, exactly. But you can't do that. Nathaniel Kaufman said the Mossad handlers are mad that you're blowing your cover. We're not. I'm just merely suggesting it. I'm not saying. I'm only suggesting that I'm working for them.
We're too valuable. We're too valuable to the cause, though, so we can kind of get away with it.
What cause?
The cause. We're too valuable to the cause.
What cause?
So we can kind of. The more you do, the more valuable you are, the more you can get away with.
Which cars, though?
So,
what kind of cars?
Like, what are they going to do? Cut us off? Come on.
What kind of cars? Like Bugatti? The Zabubas. Mr. L said, as an Israeli, the more they cry to the UN and the world, the more bliss we Israelis feel inside. I remember a Gaza telegram going, Jews lost their mind. Well, yeah, that's good.
They'll be. I mean, we were joking about that before, but it would be funny to just a meme, just have an arrow pointing to the dude's head and say Zabiba, and then have like one of those hijabis who still has her boobs sticking out, and then Zabuba, and that's it. Done. Viral meme. Zabiba Zabuba. And here's the thing: even Muslims will find that hilarious. Even Muslims will. It's fun when you make it. Like I'll occasionally get a comment from a Muslim. Okay, I hate everything you say, but that was actually funny, dude.
Yeah. That's good. That's good, man. That's good. Great Knot said, what do you think yesterday about the IDF arresting Hamas members as surrendered? Pro-Palestine are saying they're just civilians being kidnapped. Nobody was being kidnapped. So
we already went through that.
Yeah, the latest I got it from that was that they were suspects, and it is a very normal procedure. They weren't kidnapped. They were taken, searched, interrogated. Some of them were taken for further interrogations. Most of them were released and told you can go back home. That's it. Nothing wrong with it. David Kazashi said, hey, AP and DW, love you guys. BTW, David, I remember your video on Dawkins using cult tactics. You think something similar is going on here with the protests because they have no idea what they're talking about, like atheists. Haha, AP, JK, JK. How dare you make this comment? I will ban you now.
Yeah, guys, pretty much everyone nowadays is using cult tactics.
Not me.
Yeah, we're the exceptions. Put it this way: the only people who are not using cult tactics are the people who are trying to convince people to become hard targets, namely how to be resistant to cult tactics. But yeah, pretty much you can find groups on every side of every issue who are using cult tactics. But
no, I would say the only people
yeah,
who are not using cult tactics are those who say that they're not using cult tactics.
Yeah, those are the only people who aren't. But yes, notice we've talked about this before a bunch of times, but if you have some group and you sort of make yourself the in group that has some special quality. Hey, if you just by joining our group, you have this special quality. Like with the new atheists, with the aggressive new atheists, it was, hey, you join us, then you're smart. We're part of the smart group. All the other people, those religious people, they're the dumb ones. We're the smart ones. We're the dumb ones. So you just ask someone, do you want to be smart or you want to be dumb? If you want to be smart, you have to join our group, and then you have to agree with everything we say. So you've got that. You've got the Islamic version. The Islamic version is with the Dawah crowd, not Muslims, not all Muslims, but with the Dawah crowd specifically. Join our group and you're strong. If you don't join, then you're a weakling. If you join us, you're strong. If you don't, you're a weakling. And then you've got like the Western woke crowd. And hey, if you join our group, you're tolerant. And if you're not, you're standing up for the oppressed and so on. If you're not, then you're standing up for the oppressors and you're not tolerant and so on. And you can actually, just because people want to be part of that group, because that's what's popular on a college campus, you can actually get them to join your group and then promote genocide. And they won't catch it. They won't catch how evil they're being because you're not allowed to think about these things in your group. You can't question your group. Notice, as soon as you sign up for the group. So if you join the Dawah, you become a fan of some Dawah guy. You can't question him. If you were to say, hey, Muhammad Hijab, should you really be babbling about dildos and lube in an actual debate with a Jewish rabbi? Should you be doing that? Oh, you're actually on the side of the rabbi. Maybe you're one of them, and they'll cast you out of the group. You don't want to be cast out of the group. And so, yeah, that's just how it works. This is how it is all over the place. This is how it is in politics. If you want to sign on with some political party, then you're not allowed to question what they do. So yeah, and you're going to see this more and more as things splinter into more and more groups. But yeah, AP is the king of this.
Alhamdulillah.
And again,
I hope you.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. So, yes.
Shapiro,
Yes, I do.
your wife's a carrot when you were more of a man. Is that what you're trying to
Yes,
say?
I do.
All right. Then you said that Jews have BDSM. You're speaking about sexual lubricants while people are dying. You know, Muhammad, get your head out of the Jewish bedroom. It's really bizarre.
Can we get it?
Let me be clear.
No.
Sexual lubricants? How embarrassing.
You sell dildos, don't you?
Can we get it back?
You sell dildos, don't you?
Can we get it back to the topic?
You speak about 5-year-old girls being ready for sex.
Come on,
Listen, let's go back to the issue.
Let me ask a question.
Why? He's shaking. I've got a vibrator in your pocket.
Come on, it's a serious.
I think he's got one of his daughter's vibrators in his
come on,
pocket.
leave him, please.
You are just
humiliating yourself. We're going to cut all this
back to the issue.
We'll cut all this stuff out. So there's no point.
Why?
This is not how to have a debate.
It's also funny though with Pierce. We're going to cut all this stuff out. If you're cutting out hijab, acting like a moron, what's left?
Yeah.
What's left of the discussion? You can't cut it out.
But this is just, man. Do you have a vibrator in your pocket?
I've got a vibrator in your pocket.
Come on, it's a serious debate.
I think he's got one of his daughter's vibrators in his
come on,
pocket.
leave him, please.
You are just.
How does he think that is perceived by most of the non-Islamic, non-Muhammad hijab fan audience that watches this? Is he aware that this is just perceived as ridiculous by most people? I don't even get it. Like, is he actually trying to leave a good impression, and does he think this is good? I don't understand, you know.
No, that's how things have changed. We've also talked about that a ton of times, that if you go back just 10 years, let alone 20 or 30 years, the Dawah guys were selected based on who is going to make the best impression on Western audiences. And so they picked people like Shabir Ali and so on. But with the rise of the internet, you could become popular by appealing to a Muslim audience, and that's just by thumping your chest and, oh, me strong, them weak. And that's all you need to do. So no, for him, it's just, this is what his crowd his fans cheer for, and it's all that matters to him. He doesn't really care if he seems like a complete jackass to everyone else in the world.
Alhamdulillah. Alex said, lies indeed. Love what y'all do. David Wood and AP.
It's lease. It's lease.
Lease indeed. Lies. Alex, thank you
Lease
so much.
das Buch. Das Buch.
Thank you for this super
Wait,
chat.
what,
Very nice.
what would the article be? I don't remember. Is it lease? Wait, lease what?
Yeah, lease das Buch. Das Buch.
Das Buch. Okay, I was right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was good. Yeah. See, you remember. Well, hope to see more of Momo's Boom Boom Room soon. David, I hope to see you on
Lies
Pine
das
Creek
Buch! Lies das Buch!
It says, David, I hope to see you on Pine Creek's channel someday.
Not likely.
Why? What is your problem with Pine Creek, man? Do you even know what
Don't
Pine
know.
Creek is?
I can't tell you 2 words that he said. I just know he's the guy who used to come. Everyone who does this annoys me. It could be someone I totally agree with on everything else, but he used to just come on to every live stream I was on and just, no matter what the topic was, constantly try to divert it to something he wanted to talk about.
Oh,
and
I see it.
Yeah, so I can't stand that if it's a Christian. I can't stand if it's an atheist. I can't stand the people who habitually just come into a discussion and constantly try to. Now, keep in mind, like lots of people here, they leave comments and they joke around and stuff. But if we're talking about jihad and you came in and you started going, but what? Why can you believe in the Trinity? I would be like, that's annoying, dude. Like there are lots of Muslims who do that in every discussion. You could be talking about anything. You say this is the topic, and they'll come in there to the chat and just try to divert the discussion the entire time. I don't know. It annoys me. It doesn't annoy everyone. It annoys the crap out of me. If someone's doing it, if it looks like serious and deliberate, like I'm coming here with the sole purpose of diverting you away from the topic you're here to discuss.
I don't know. I don't think any atheist would do something like that, because that goes against atheist.
You do that.
Morality, and atheists generally don't do such things. It's also considered.
Oh, I get it. Incest is fine, but not changing the subject. Okay, Pete.
Of course.
Welcome to the perfectly functioning moral compasses of atheism.
These are good morals. Chloe said God sent his son because he's kind. 500 years on. Momo said, never mind. Now do what I say. I come in peace, or I use the sword to make your life cease. Now get all kids to strip down to their socks. I make you all kiss a stinky black box. Are you writing these down, Chloe? Are you actually writing these down? You should be writing all of that stuff down. You should make a book.
Yeah, Chloe, you should just be posting. If you can come up with poems this quick, you should just post 20 of these a day on Twitter.
Yes. I'll make a book. It should be called Islamic poetry. Yes.
I told you what I've wanted to make a children's book. A is for Aisha, Z is for Zainab, learning the alphabet with Muhammad's atrocities, and but actually have make it a child's book, where it actually teaches children using the alphabet to learn horrible stuff about Muhammad.
That's
powerful.
Marcus
if everyone else is going to do stuff with kids, you got the Muslims, they actually want to have sex with them. I'm talking about the Dawa guys, and you got the drag queen story hour. Fine. If everyone's usually want to think of kids off limit, if we're getting kids in this stuff, fine. We're going to teach them about Muhammad.
That sounded very bad. How he just thought it. If everyone's going to do something with kids,
if everyone's going to do something to kids, then why not me?
Oh boy. Marcus said Saleh Jafarawi. That's the guy who is that guy who was on all the memes, who is one day was like Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, and then the next day he's like we're getting bombed. Cheering Hamas attacks, now crying.
That's going to be all the guy. It does not look like Israel's slowing down or stopping, and it looks like they are just unstoppable.
It's fine to me how they don't even care. Like they're just continuing, and like most of the world is just talking, and they're just we don't really care. We are going to finish the mission.
Masab Hassan Yusuf, so son of Hamas, I mean, he was saying this shortly after Israel started retaliating. He was just announcing it. Hey, all you college students protesting, guess what? We don't care. We don't care. We're going to come and get them. We're going to come and get them. We're going to kill them. We're going to get them. We're going to look on. We're going to go. We're going to find them. We're going to dig them out of the tunnels and kill them. So what? What are you doing with your protest? You think we care, right? He's like perfectly summing up what Israel actually did. What are you staring at?
I'm just seeing Hunter Evelyn, the guy that we talked about recently, because he made a tweet about Islam, posting something where somebody came and shot him, and he has a video of it or something. I don't know. Anyway, I have to look at that later. Jay Griffey said, the more I watch these videos on the Israel-Palestine conflict, the more I have to wipe the leather straps off my anus to make sure I'm actually seeing the takes people have. Exactly. I also do that all the time. It's very important to always wipe them. Yeah. Farfour said David got a big Quran, and we're proud of that. Like, yeah.
We're proud of that.
Farfour said David Wood has a big Quran, Christian. AP has a puny Quran, atheist. Draw your own conclusions.
But notice that's coming from Farfour.
Yes. Alex said, have you guys seen Scythe Talk Response? I haven't watched it.
No, and I don't even know when we will get around to watching something like that. We'd have to be really bored and out of topics before we return to the brilliant double of Scythe Talk, or he has to get way more popular. But other than that, we'll just kind of randomly respond to something he says.
There was a time that I feel like is very distant now in the past, where I was genuinely interested in watching those video responses to me. So sometimes I would sit down and I would look through responses that Muslims made, watch them. Sometimes I would laugh at how ridiculous they are. Sometimes I would be like, okay, that seems like an interesting point. Yeah, interesting stuff. But I was genuinely interested in what they say. I don't know when it happened, but I really lost interest, and I don't really watch the responses anymore, unless somebody really tells me you have to watch this one. It's very important. You have to watch it. Even then, mostly I don't watch it. Sorry to say, but because I lost hope by now. Yeah, times have changed. I don't think I will watch the latest video. Ma TV said, "Wish I could smoke with you guys." I could do it right now. Just do it. Oh, I'm doing it right now. You're on stream. Next Zuckernack said, I smoked the Quran first. I lit it. I win.
You actually did, but you shouldn't be bragging about that because you're a 12-year-old. You want jihadis coming after you. They come after me, they lose. They come after you, they'll crush and destroy you, and there's nothing you can do about it because you're a little weakling.
Yeah. Okay, this is messed up. I just briefly mentioned it, but this streamer, Hunter Evelyn, who is also a YouTuber, he says, I'm still trying to process this, and I'm most likely in shock as I write this, but only a few hours ago, Holly's ex-boyfriend Conrad showed up at my apartment building with a shotgun. He shot through my building door, injuring her leg in the process. I recorded the final moments in which we are hiding on the back porch. So this is a crazy thing to see, completely unrelated to what we talk about, but this YouTuber that we recently mentioned who said some really harsh things about Muhammad and Islam had just a story like that, where his girlfriend's ex-boyfriend or something came to his door with a shotgun and stuff. Hey, look at this. Look at this. What are you doing?
What?
Look at
taking all the leftover Quran bits from all the stuff we do and stuffing them inside this giant Quran container.
Look at this. Daniel Kikachu,
inconvenient fact for Zionist scum,
is now like following and sharing and engaging with people like Kim Iverson, who is whom normally he would call like completely immoral. He would probably call a person like this, if she was on a different side, a prostitute just by the mere fact that her hair is uncovered. I don't even get it. Like he will insult fellow Muslims for not doing things properly, if we're not practicing Islam properly, but then he's going around now and sharing and being buddies with anti-Zionist prostitutes by his definition. It's very strange.
They're
very strange.
getting desperate. They're getting desperate, looking for any alliance they can.
Alhamdulillah. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Sid Dave said, "What? Islamic converts are just used for marketing and Islamic validation. They are basically marketing gimmicks and nothing else." That is pretty much true. But exactly how it is. Ayatollah Khamenei said, "If you make takbir, please do not put the Prophet on the label with his swimsuit getting pulled down by a black dog like the copper tone girl. This would be offensive." Huh. Interesting. Interesting. We will not do that. Never would do something like that. I would never ever start an underwear brand and call it Quran underwear and have people advertise it with people actually wearing underwear with Quran verses on them. I would never do something like that. It's very
Quran verse, a men's Quran verse thong. I don't mean the underwear. I mean for the beach.
Sanke said, das ist das Problem. Das ist das Problem. Niemand öffnet
Das
sein
Problem sind die Ideen. Das Problem sind die Ideen im System.
Yeah.
We're laughing at.
I read it in my head like that. Chloe said Momo and his aunts against the legions of France, whether against Constantine or Karl, never stood a chance. Go back to the desert to worship Baal. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. This is actually nice. I'm liking this. How can I go in the future without having these poems here? I don't know. Chloe said, Momo makes you a slave. Farfour, dance on your grave. Angel Jibril said, how much for David Wood to buy a Farfour costume and have a special Christmas live stream with Shaky Booty? Huh. How much, David?
I don't know. I looked up mouse costumes just when when we were talking about the whole Farfour thing. Like a good mouse costume is actually expensive. But I looked around for one that's like Farfour, couldn't find one because it's sort of Mickey Mouse-ish, but a little off. It's easy to find a mouse costume, but I couldn't find one that was like Farfour. Might have to do a different one. Although at the end of the day, how many people are going to be obsessed over exactly what Farfour looks like? But no, we could do something with Farfour and Shake Your Booty.
Alhamdulillah. Beautifully said.
And Prophet Muhammad.
Jesse Johnson made a super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So Dave said Jewish rabbis should challenge Islamic appropriation of Jewish figures and refute stories like Abraham traveling to Mecca. That would be a good start.
Jewish rabbis should be more involved in what they're dealing with because, that was the basis. That was the main reason for Muhammad's hostility towards the Jews. They were guys who could expose him. He had told his followers, these are people who are going to affirm me as a prophet, and they didn't. They called him a false prophet. And notice, if your claim is based on, oh yeah, I'm in their book, their Torah, and their guys can expose you, and you don't know what to point to because you don't know what's in the Torah. You believe that you must be in there. Book of trust me, bro. And the Jewish rabbis, okay, you go ahead and tell us where you're at. Go and tell us what chapter, what book, what chapter, what verse. Go and tell us where you're at, Muhammad. These guys have to die. So they were a big threat to him. So yeah, should be hearing more.
I think Jews just often don't want to engage with an outward offensive
Yeah, they don't.
Discussion, interreligious debates and all that. They just don't want to, and they also don't have a missionary.
They're not like atheists,
anything like that. So yeah,
they're not like atheists who are obsessed with making everyone agree with them.
Yeah, unlike these other terrible people like Christians, atheists.
What the heck? Why you bring Christians into this, man? We're talking about Jewish rabbis used to and Christians. What are you, Daniel Hakikachu now?
Look at the stupidity here. Look at this guy. This guy says, I hear a lot of people talk about two-state solution. How about creating a home for the Zionists in England? Give them half of England and call it Israel. I'm sure the Brits are okay with this. What do you think? What a stupid comparison. What
It's
a
pretty dumb.
stupid comparison. What a stupid comparison. This implies, of course, that that there is a land called Palestine, just like there is a land called Israel, and that establishing another state or recognizing another state named Israel in that land would be splitting your own land for that state. And that is not the case. There never was a Palestinian state. There never was an Arab Palestinian state. Point me to where in the history there was an Arab state which was named Palestine. There never was such a thing. It came into existence in 1988.
Liar. It's on the map. It's on the map of Trust Me, Bro.
A liar. On the old maps, they say Palestine, so explain that. What is that about?
It is creepy how rapidly a myth can spread once you can invent something and then within a generation convince people in spite of everything that you had like the 1924 Cairo edition of the Quran that they spent years trying to piece together what they wanted to be an official Quran. And so they spend years making this Quran, and different Muslims in different areas have different Qurans. And they come out with one that's going to say, hey, this is the official one we're going to use now. And then all of a sudden you can tell the next generation, perfect preservation right down to the letter. This has always been exactly what the Quran says right here. And people fall for it. The entire ummah will fall for it. And it's the same thing with something like this. You can just, hey, we're inventing this new land right now. And it's Palestine, the land of Palestine. Yeah. And there's the Palestinian people. And they'll all go, oh, that's the land and that's the people. The Jews came along and stole it.
Stole it. Anyway, I just want to say, like, I feel like it needs to be said everywhere, every time, many times, thousands of times. There was never a Palestinian land. There was never a land in Palestine. There was never a state called Palestine. Nobody stole land. Nobody stole Palestinian land. It never happened. Never happened. It was never split. The whole myth of it getting stolen and getting smaller and smaller is complete nonsense. Never happened. None of that is true. But hey, apparently, if you're just being an idiot and spreading that nonsense, if enough people say it, people just believe it. Analove said, hello guys, found this Chinese app named Temu that sell these fake dolls that they use in most of their photos. You mean,
why the heck would we care about that?
You mean those photos that they use, that those people use in that thing? In those posts? I see what you mean. When I said fake dolls, I thought you were talking about something different here. But that's funny. That is funny. Ray Dolben said David Wood and AP made living in West Yorkshire, UK tolerable. Thank you. Yes, we saved the UK actually. The UK will remember us.
We're going to save the whole world.
Yeah. We already did save the whole world. What are you talking about? Chloe said Muslim sign says read R.
R is for rape the women's. E is for enslave all children.
A is attack for unbeliever. D is for
D is die for Allah in the name of his Allen snack bar.
Nice. That's good. It's good. SC Rocket XR1 said Islam willum quia curium circa anum est. What do you say about that, David? Do you have an answer? No? Okay. Because you don't speak Latin.
Not anymore.
What does it even mean? I don't even know.
What?
What does it even mean? What does all of this mean? What year? Something. I'll get back to it. Justin says AP defends Hitler, atheist. David Wood defends the weak and oppressed, Christian. Draw your own conclusions. Drug Vac said, please eat a full Quran. But how? Like with the hardcover, or how? You have to specify this. There is a price to everything. There is a price to everything. I wonder if anyone makes edible Qurans. Let me see if there are edible Qurans. Let's see. Edible Qurans. Huh. Some people made some dessert that is edible and looks like a Quran. Interesting. Quran edibles. Sankey said, if Islam is false, why is the Quran the tastiest book? That's a good question. Honestly, I've been chewing this, and I just got a disgusting taste in my mouth now. So I don't know. Terrible taste, which actually proves it's wrong. John Shaw said, glory to Israel. Put Hamas in camel clutch and humble them. Inshallah. Sid Dave said, Wokesters should learn about Arab Mongol empires to learn about atrocities these empires committed. Most of them are totally ignorant about history of the world. I agree very much with that. What do you say, Dave?
Oh, okay.
David says, okay. Analov said, sub, what do you think about the Chinese app? What?
No, corium is leather.
What?
Huh?
What?
In that Latin quote, corium is leather.
Really?
It's true. It's true. True Islam because the leather is around the anus or something like that.
Let me see. Let me ask.
Interesting. Corium is leather. What?
Okay, that's funny. I just asked ChatGPT what that means. Okay. I said, what does this mean? Is that the Latin phrase Islam verum quae curium circa annum est said translates to Islam is true because there is skin around the anus, or leather around the anus in English. This sentence appears to be a nonsensical or arbitrary combination of words rather than a meaningful or traditional saying in any context related to Islam or Latin literature. Wow.
You're saying Muhammad is nonsensical?
You Islamophobe. What? Terrible, man. Terrible.
I'm sick of ChatGPT apologizing. ChatGPT and just say, man, shut up if you don't like it. Go somewhere else. Go to a different AI. Whine to me all day.
That's what it does all the time. Oh, you're talking about those. Okay. I can't comment on that. Those fake dolls. I have not been involved in that whole discussion about fake dolls in.
I've seen Andrew Tate post a lot of pictures. Where there's like those dolls in the picture. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, different dolls. Yeah. GG Ryder said, AP, I'm paying a $5 fine for my typo calling you AW. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's good. That's good. You fixed it. You handle that like a man.
Yeah, you will be spared from the punishment that was coming for you. Nanny Poo Poo made a super chat. Hey, Nanny Poo Poo, what's up? I haven't seen you here in a while. Daniel91 gave some shekels, which absolutely don't come from Mossad. Can't say that, but they come nevertheless from a source that I may not call Mossad. Sir Dr. Whiteman said this in Speaker's Corner. It's smokers, Quraners. Graham from Nathan Fief said Second Amendment protects the First. Absolutely. which is why no, I can't flash all my guns on screen during a live stream. I can't do that. I'm sorry. Sanke said AP recommends Paradox games, but it's Islamophobic trash. Won't let my Arab warlord marry women before they are 14. Immersion ruined. Muhammad run impossible. I know, right? That's what I noticed too.
Does sound Islamophobic.
Yeah. Also, they have a limit on, like, when you play those games, they have a limit on how many concubines you can take. For example, like you can only take up to 4 concubines. What is this? I want to be a genuine Muslim ruler in that game and take unlimited numbers of concubines. I want to marry children. Terrible. Sid Dave says UK would be open to Israel in UK if all Muslims leave.
That'll be funny. We'll trade you.
John Lee said, haha, Palestine exists just like Uzair. I still don't know why Jews say Uzair is the son of Allah, and why they
it's so weird.
Why they worship him,
and why they lie about it. Why they lie about it and say they don't say that.
Yeah, why would they do that?
Yeah, if the Quran says you say it, then you say it, and you saying that you've never said it.
Yeah,
just
you better
shows
don't
how
say
dishonest you are.
You better don't say it. Chloe said Palestine, monster of Frankenstein. Interesting. That's a good one. Analav says, sorry, it was my first time making a donation and wrote the same thing twice. Farfour is like a furry costume. Don't fall for that, David Wood. LOL. You should get one, though. You should get one of those costumes of Farfour upon honest recommendations. Anna is actually sending us shekels, and Anna is actually also working for Hamas and making it look like it's just a casual super chat, but it's actually our funds being transferred over to us. Thank you. So Dave said, did you see Kim Jong-un begging North Koreans to have more kids? Maybe we need to send some Gazans to Pyongyang, increase the birth rate. Really? Is he begging them for more kids? They barely have food. I don't understand what's even happening. Did you ever see videos of people who went to North Korea to secretly recorded stuff?
Yeah, it sucks pretty hard there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's becoming this thing. It's the same thing with China, where you limit the number of children that people can have, and all of a sudden you get to a generation where you don't have enough to replace the people who are getting old and dying anymore. And so it's then you realize you got a problem. Then you have to tell everyone, hey, okay, we need to have a bunch more kids.
Maybe they should just do it like what they do with the pandas, because the pandas they don't reproduce, they don't have enough. So the people, to keep them alive, they basically force them to reproduce. Yeah, terrible idea. Chloe said, "Yeah, David, what I can help with children's book idea alphabet. Yeah, that would be nice. That'd be nice. That's a project in the making here." Carlo Magnus said,
"We could come up with all the topics and then ask people to contribute little rhymes for the book."
Yeah. Carlo Magnus said, AP and David Wood, I dare you to eat the Quran with bacon. Alan will not allow it.
I did eat the Quran once and washed it down with a Sam Adams. So it's kind of a similar idea.
Huh. Drunk Vax said, use a blender for the Quran so it's easier to eat. Huh, I haven't thought about that before.
You'd have to mix it in with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to just eat tons of paper.
I want a strawberry Quran smoothie. Black Angel said, what kind of stream is that? You should be completely used to these streams now, Black Angel. You're disappointing me. Zabubas Mr. L said, how to eat Quran. Make soup from leather cover, shred the paper, mix with water, turn into paper mill, mix with eggs, flour, bacon, bake, don't try. Huh. I saw flour and I read it as Farfour for some reason. Mix Farfour into it.
We can make a Quran cookbook. Recipe, how to eat the Quran.
Yeah. Sheep made a super sticker. Thank you. Appreciate it very much. And thanks for stopping by. It's a cat that says, haha. No, it's a fox. It's a fox. Yes, it's a fox. Christopher said, we all know AP will eat a page from the Quran, but will he eat a page from the Bible?
You see? Nope, because then he'd be converting.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm immune against conversion to Islam by eating, because I was already a Muslim before. So, yeah. Partial Act 17 Mirror said, not to derail, but I saw a video posted that said Hatun Touch with Speaker's Corner is safe.
Yeah, I've only said that like 900 times.
Yeah, David only said it like 900 times. Razel D says, in Paradox games, you just need mods for that. To marry children? I don't know. There's a thing I need to look it up. Don Shante said, you're a Mossad agent here. Here's your daily shekels and a piece of advice for dear AP. Men, please get a bigger Quran. You know the size of a man's Quran is proportional to his penis. Thank you. I heard about that. I heard of that before, but I didn't want to believe it. So I have to get the biggest Quran in the world now for that. I don't know. It's weird. Kitty Vielmo just became a YouTube channel member. Terrible choice, but very welcome. Congratulations. Welcome to the club. I hope more people become members of this fantastic channel that is heading just in the right direction. Stephen L. said, hey, AP, it's nice to see you. I was an atheist until 26 and mocked God until he got a hold of me over time. Praying for you, sir, and your safety. Thank you.
Good point. Good point.
Thank you.
And look at him. Look at him in the picture. Now he's got a whole family, unlike atheists.
Yeah. Yeah. I only got a little bit of family. Yeah. I also got family, but it doesn't count because I'm atheist. Sheikh Manat said, jolly good show. Good Kush Quran. Oh boy. Nanny Poo Poo said C is for Camel P Malak. S is for she was 9 years old. M is for Muhammad and Friends comics. They're infidelicious and 100% halal. It's nice. Nice. Said Dave said lots of countries would be open to replacing their Muslim population with Jews and an Israel on their land. Jews contribute to every society they live in. Whale. You know what's very interesting? When you read Theodor Herzl's pamphlet, or his book on the Jewish state, what he says is, as Jews, we should settle in a land where we make an agreement with the ones in charge of the land, because and his idea is settling there and contributing to the land that they get in return for living there and establishing their land, their safe home. Like he's talking about Palestine under Ottoman rule, for example. Like that's the whole idea. It's a very very nice idea of making a good deal and contributing to the land that those people hold, and being good to the people who already do live there. So he's talking from a Western Zionist perspective. Very, very nice perspective. But hey, things don't always go very well. Chloe said Quran cookbook. Grilled pork wrap in bacon with pig sauce. This is very offensive. Very offensive. This is very Islamophobic. And yes. Larry David. Hey, Larry David, what's up? Said Lee Rigby's killer killed in prison. I'm not mad.
Really?
Really?
I remember there were two, Muhammad Adabalajo or something like that. Let me see. Look up
Wait, he was called Muhammad? Huh, I don't know.
Oh, Michael Adabalajo, I think, if I recall. I remember it was Adabalajo because I made a video about it. Let's see.
I have a fact check report here which says reports that he has been killed are false.
So he's just locked up doing prison dawah. Two Michaels, Michael Adebolajo and Michael Adebowale.
Shake My Nuts just became a YouTube member. Thank you so much, Shake My Nuts. Welcome to welcome to the
Thank you so
club.
much. Shake My Nuts.
Thank you so much, Shake My Nuts.
Thank you so much, Shake My Nuts.
Sid Dave said David Wood AP. Which page of the Quran is the tastiest? I haven't decided yet. They are all disgusting to me.
Anything from the Surah of the cow, because steak is good. The Surah of the bee, because of the honey. Then anything from the Surah of the fig.
Alhamdulillah. 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 Christopher said, do atheists worship King Kong? No, it's actually Godzilla. Atheists worship Godzilla. Some do. Some worship King Kong. Others do Godzilla.
No, they go for King Kong because they don't like Godzilla because it's got God in the name.
But there is a dispute about that. Actually, there are different factions among the atheists. Some of them do like Godzilla. Some of them just reject Godzilla because of that whole God in the name. So there are some heretical groups among atheists who do that kind of stuff too. Yeah. Troll Axe Thrower said, "Here are my documents and keys. Far forward dances."
Oh, hey.
What? And finally, John Cho
I
became
did
a
see-
YouTube member. Welcome to the club. Yes. What?
No, I did see. It did say this way back in the day, but Adebolajo, Michael Adebolajo, who now goes by Mujahid Abu Hamza, lost two of his front teeth when prison officers were beating the crap out of him.
Nice.
So he got some of his teeth knocked out while fighting 5 police officers in prison.
Nice.
Keep in mind, these were converts. These guys converted to Islam and then decided that this is how they have to live their lives.
Nice. Eat a Quran wrapped in bacon. This is very Islamophobic. And Carl Magno said, David, have you ever had dinuguan Filipino pork blood stew? Try with Quran toppings. David, did you ever have that?
I don't know. My wife is
insulting.
half Filipino. My wife is half Filipino. I've gone to a bunch of their, because Filipinos have an event over pretty much anything. Oh, here's my daughter's 2.5-year birthday. We need to have a giant party over this. So anyway, I've eaten tons of stuff. At these things. I cannot name everything. I'm not aware of whether I've eaten this, but I've eaten a ton of stuff at Filipino parties.
Wait, did you just say she's half Filipino?
She's half. Her mom is Filipino. Her dad's white.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's fine. That's interesting. Marta M said, what's your opinions on circumcision of babies? I think it's unnecessary.
I was circumcised and I turned out perfect. So,
yeah. Well, I would say it's unnecessary. Now I could talk about that lengthily. I indeed wanted to make a.
I would say unnecessary too.
Yeah. I want to make
if you want to be like me, you'll be circumcised.
I wanted to make a video about this topic, and where I talk about how this personally impacts me, and wanted to talk about it lengthily, and how I don't like it. I don't like having this. But then, anyway, let's not talk about this further. Yeah. Chloe said, Hitchin's theory on pork related to cannibalism. There's such a theory? I don't know about that.
No idea.
About that. I'm a cannibal, and I did that before. I became one before I ate pork. So, yeah.
I'm a Quranable.
Nice. Anything else you want to say before we leave, David?
Yeah. Islam is really cool.
Oh, that's nice.
If you want to be strong, you'll do it.
And I want to clarify one thing that I said earlier. I did claim that there was never a Palestinian state, and there is no such thing as Palestine. But actually, it does exist. We just can't see it because
It is a metaphysical matter.
Yeah. Anyway, with
Good
that,
point.
with that said, thanks everyone for watching. We will be back tomorrow again on this channel, and we will review the film Submission, for which the creator of the movie was killed by an Islamist, and we will react to that. And so Dave said, do non-Muslims who pay jizya go to heaven? Do they still go to hell despite paying a ransom? At least I should go to heaven if I paid the money. No, you won't go. You will go to hell. With that said, have a fantastic day as always, and remember the very wise words, which are, David.
You're not going to have Sajid up to say, stay away from Islam.
Fine. Do you want me to have Sajid on?
Sajid's cool, man, when he tells people to stay away from Islam.
Okay, fine. So remember these wise words.
Stay away from Islam.